This is one of the top battles in the American Football Conference on this Sunday, primarily because both teams with a good shot at the playoffs. Oakland coming into this afternoon's game at 6 wins and 4 losses, just one game out of first place in the West. Denver and San Diego at 7-3, leading in that Western Division. Houston, on the other hand, tied for second in the Central Division with Cleveland. Both Cleveland and Houston at 7-3. Pittsburgh is 8-2. So both teams very close to the top and are in very good positions to advance to the playoffs. So one of the top games on the schedule, and we're glad you can be with us on the Parade of Sports.
Tony, hello everybody, and good to have you along today. Taken by one of the short men. At the 15-yard line is Carpenter. Out of the 20, 25 to the 30-yard line, and the Oilers will scrimmage for their own 31. This is the way they open offensively. Same unit that has been starting for the past month. Pastorini, number 7 at quarterback. You'll have Earl Campbell and Tim Wilson as his setback. Now the changes offensively, the only change I should say, doubled on Ken Burrow along with 82 Mike Renfro. Also, Castor in the ball game, number 88 at the offensive front. Carl Walk at center, Connie Heyman at left guard, and Fisher at right guard. Motown's the right tackle, and Leon Gray is the left tackle. Two tight end alignment, Conrad Rucker on the left side, Castor on the right. Here goes Renfro in motion. Pastorini, first play of the afternoon, play action, puts it on his hip, looking, he is going to go long, going for Castor, he's there, and it's overthrown, down at the Oakland 35-yard line. Hello, first down, and a long pass, Ron Stone.
Well, as a matter of fact, Danny crossed everybody up on that one, and he is just a little bit of a step ahead of number 88, who was right down underneath the football. Well, the hand for the Oiler offense as they come back, indicating to Oakland that they're going to open up this time.
Well, you also can hear from the crowd that they enjoy seeing that instead of the spin and hand off to Earl on the first down, the first play from scrimmage. Defensively, for the Raiders today, Dave Brownie, Dave Pear, and Pat Toomey, the down three. The linebackers, Hendricks, Monty Johnson, Phil Villapiano, and Rod Martin. Lester Hayes and Henry Williams. The corners, Mike Davis is the strong safety. 32, Jack Tatum, the veteran from Ohio State, the free safety. He had the cover on Castor just now. Second play from scrimmage. Handoff. Earl Campbell reverses his field in trouble. Tries to get outside of the near side of the field. Going to be knocked down on a nice defensive play. At the 29-yard line, it's Lester Hayes out of Texas A&M. Those two have met before. It's going to be a loss of 2. It'll be third down, Houston Oilers. Third down and 11. 11 yards, and if they don't get that, it's going to be turned over to Oakland time.
Looked like he wanted to go into the middle of the line, Ron, but Oakland stacked up pretty nicely, so he came outside, and Hayes stayed with him, and as you said, made a very good play. Ball pushed back to the 29, third and a bunch. Ken Law checks into the ball game, so the nickel defense for the Oakland Raiders, 4 down linemen. Houston with a third down, 11. Just underway, 14 minutes to play first period. Pastorini back in the pocket, protection breaks down over the middle. We get a marker down, pass is complete at the 45-yard line. Ronnie Coleman over the middle, and Pastorini was taking one right in the chops from Dave Pear just as he delivered the football. Who's the discussion going to be with? Penalty against Oakland. They have a holding penalty. Penalty will be declined. Refuse. First down.
That's the voice of Jim Tunney. He will be the added addition to our broadcast this afternoon. Harder, Kohler, Hammer, Knight, McKenzie, and Don Haight. That's the officiating crew today. First and 10, Houston Oilers, no score, early first period. From the Oiler 46, Mike Renfro goes in motion. Pastorini, play action again, drops deep to throw. Pumps once, pumps again, now goes long. Oh, Renfro is all alone at the 15, at the 10, at the 6. First and goal of Houston Oilers. We're cooking today, honey.
Mike Renfro was there all alone to take that one in. Let me tell you about the other sponsors before we get a touchdown. Reached out and grabbed Earl with the face mask and slowed him down. We got no marker on the field. They're going to mark it at the 5. that 47-yard catch and run is the longest the Oilers have executed this year so far. Johnson, along with Davidson, are the tackle for the Oakland Raiders. Ball resting squarely on the 5-yard line to the near hash mark. Capacity house, and they are up on their feet, particularly down in the end zone, waving those Columbia blue pom-poms. Again, ice set in the backfield, 2 wide receivers. Burrow to the right, Renfro to the left. Pastorini's going to have to hurry. 30-second clock is down to 2, down to 1. Hurry, Dan, just gets it off. Earl Campbell, handoff, sweeps to the left side, turns it up. At the 2-yard line, he's at the 1. Well, he tried to run over Jackson that time and could not quite do it. One-on-one, and Jackson comes up with a good play. It looked like Campbell was trying to lower his head and just go across him, but the tackle is made. So it's 3rd and 1 for the Oilers. And Pastorini waited dangerously long. As Ron said, the 30-second clock is running out on him. And just as it went towards 0, he handed the ball, cut the ball. Oilers on the lip of the cup at the 1-yard line. It's 3rd down and goal, 36 inches away. No score, 11:40 to play first period. Here they come to the line of scrimmage. Dead T in the backfield, 2 tied in alignment. Tim Wilson goes in motion. Pastorini gives it. Earl Campbell right side at the 1-yard line. Spins off the tackler, 6 down. Unbelievable. Made him hit him and hit him hard, but Campbell kept going. Oh my. Touchdown Oilers. Boy, they paid him lower the boom on it, right at the line. Oilers lead it 6-0. Earl got really stood up at the 1-yard line by Tatum. That was some kind of vicious hit, and he took it in. Wrestled him off. Threw him to the ground, and then Earl takes it in. Extra point attempt to come. Rob Carpenter with a good block of the play. Gifford Nielsen to hold at the 9-yard line. Tony Fritz to attempt the extra point. And the Oilers have drawn first blood. Opening drive of the afternoon, a total of 69 yards. Waiting for the snap from David Carter. Arm outstretched, gets it good. Ball is down, takes it up and through. We got a timeout on the field with 11:29 to play in the first period. Our score, the Houston Oilers 7 and the Oakland Raiders 0. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
On the schedule of the National Football League Sunday, in addition to the Oakland at Houston game, Baltimore is playing at Miami, Buffalo at the New York Jets, Pittsburgh is at Kansas City, St. Louis is at Washington, San Diego is at Cincinnati, Tampa Bay at Detroit, and Seattle at Cleveland. All of those games are just underway. A little later, Los Angeles at Chicago and Minnesota at Green Bay. Those will be starting in about 50 minutes or so. And then the 4 o'clock Eastern time games, San Francisco at New Orleans, Atlanta at the New York Giants, and New England is playing at Denver. And you'll hear that New England-Denver game over many of these same AFRTS stations later in the day. So New England leading in the American Football Conference East at 7-3. Miami is in second at 6-4. In the Central, Pittsburgh the leader at 8-2. Cleveland and Houston are 7-3. And in the West, Denver and San Diego are tied for first at 7-3. Oakland is 6-4.
The big play was a 47-yard Pastorini to Renfro pass. And it was 11:29 left in the first quarter. The Oilers get on the scoreboard as Campbell goes in from a yard out. 69 yards in 7 plays. 3:31. They hold on to the ball. Picture-perfect drive. Ron Franklin looked great. Here's the kick. Double deep safety. Ira Matthews along with Larry Brunson. It's going to go to Brunson at the 6-yard line. 10, 15 to the 20. That's going to be the end of the way. Good play with a special team deep ball. Teddy Thompson, 51. The SMU Pony is downfield to make the hit. The Oakland Raiders will scrimmage for their own 20-yard line. Offensively, this is the way they open today. Number 12, Penny Stabler, the Snake, will be at quarterback. He will have Derek Jensen, number 31, and 34, Booker Russell, as his running backs. An all-Texas backfield there as far as running backs. Wide receiver, number 80 or 21, Cliff Branch, and they use the 2 tight ends. 87, Dave Casper, 88, Raymond Chester. Shell, Upshaw, Dalby, Sylvester, and Lawrence in the trenches. We'll check the Houston defense in just a moment.
first play from scrimmage. Running play. Jensen goes right side. Curly Culp has got him with the ankles, has him down after a 2-yard gain. It's Culp, Lefay, and Dorris, the down 3. The linebackers, Hunt and Bingham in the middle. Robert Brazell on the weak side. 59, Teddy Washington on the strong side. Greg Stemrick, number 27 at right corner. On the other side, 33, J.C. Wilson. The free safety is Mike Reinfeld. He leads the National Football League in interceptions. And 32, Vernon Curry out of Jackson State is the strong safety. Cliff Branch, who made statements this week about the Oilers secondary not covering so well, comes wide to the left side. Saber back to throw. First pass of the afternoon. Far side of the field has it complete. His running back Jensen out to the 30-yard line, and is going to be knocked back and I believe denied the first down. Out to the 30-yard line.
He fumbled the ball out of bounds, depending on where they're going to say to put it down as to whether he's got the first down. And I think he's going to be just a little bit short. Let's see where they put it. Yeah, he's short by just a little bit, I think.
You just joined us. It's Oilers 7, Oakland nothing. 10 minutes and 5 seconds to play, first period, for the Astrodome at Houston, Texas sellout crowd. We see a lot of vacancies so far. Some folks late getting to the stadium today. Third down, short yardage, running play. Jensen goes right side. He's mauled as he goes over the top. He's going to have the first down at the 31-yard line as Greg Bingham is up at the top of the stack. Down at the bottom is Curly Culp. First and 10 Oakland Raiders, the initial first down of the afternoon for Oakland. Houston with 2 first downs and 69 total yards. That was the length of their opening drive. And the Raiders now with 11 yards and 1 first down.
Jensen took a pretty good hit getting that first down, but nothing to compare with what Campbell got and scored the touchdown anyway. How he stood up and is still alive after what Tatum did to him, I'll never know.
Went off the field flexing his right hand, too, Ron. We'll try to get a report on that. Wings to the right side this time. I set in the backfield. Running play. It's Jensen hit right at the line of scrimmage. It's Curly Culp. We're sitting right in the hall along with Darrell Hunt. Going to be very short gain in the play. Maybe a gain of 2. It's called it second down and a long 8. And across the way, Jesse Baker, along with Ken Kennard, will check in. Also, Willie Alexander. So the Oilers will go with the nickel defense. The 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers, and the 5 defensive backs. Teddy Washington also leaves along with Elvin Buffet. Biles told us prior to the ball game today, the defensive coordinator, that they would try to cross up the snake today and give him several different looks throughout the ball game. Running play. It is Jensen, comes left side out of the 35 to the 38, now the 39-yard line. Greg Bingham again down at the bottom of the stack along with 71 Ken Kennard. And it's going to be for the Raiders third down and about 3 to get the first. They'll mark the ball just shy of the 40-yard line.
Always having a very rough time against Culp so far today, as most setters in the National Football League do have. And then with Kennard in, that time they both gave him a little bit of trouble. He's going to be shell-shocked before this day's over.
Here come the Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Third down and about 3 to get the first. Oilers lead at 7-0. 8 minutes to play first period. Snake back to throw. Deep in the pocket. Good protection. Looking. Delivers his pass. It is caught. Great catch by Branch, and he is ripped apart by Willie Alexander after he makes the snare. Ron, I don't see how he held on to the football. They're going to give him forward progress to the 50-yard line. Willie drove him all the way back to the 47 on a hit.
One of the reasons Stabler has been able to complete as many passes as he has is because of what you just saw there. Great line work. The offensive line held back the rush of the Oilers and gave him plenty of time to wait for Branch to make the cut. Literally held back the line.
From the midfield stripe, first down, Oakland Raiders. They trailed by 7. Saber spins, hands it off. Booker Russell straight up the middle, goes over the 45 to the 43. He is hit hard by Darrell Hunt at a head-high tackle, but Hunt gets driven back to the 43-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 7 yards. Second down and 3 coming. Mike Reinfeld also was there to make the stop for the Houston Oilers. Pickup of 7, second down and short. Oakland Raiders. And he's got one to play with here. Let's see what he comes up with.
Raider offense, number 11 rushing in the AFC, but they have been on the ground now for 5 of the 7 plays.
Sidelines left, open field to the right side. That's where Cliff Branch is. Again, 2 tight end alignment. Running play is Booker Russell. Comes to the left side on a running play. First and 10, Oakland Raiders. Knifing his way at left tackle inside the 40. He's down to the Houston 38. And so far, the Raiders have been very convincing on offense, but as Ron pointed out, coming into the ball game, we would have thought it would have been Oakland throwing the football and Houston running. It has been just the opposite so far.
Well, from an excitement quotient, I'll take it the way we got it.
Third first down of the drive for the Raiders. Third first down of the ball game. 41 total yards so far as the clock runs with 6:05 to play in the first. Stabler, play action, sets back in the pocket. Looking, going to go long. Going for Branch. He's there at the 5-yard line. The ball is underthrown. J.C. Wilson had tripped at the 10-yard line. Branch was open, and the ball is underthrown.
Stabler got racked pretty good by Teddy Washington just as he threw the football and may have forced him to throw a little bit sooner than he wanted to. But that was a touchdown had Branch been able to come up with it. He is there.
First incompleted pass of the afternoon for Ken Stabler. Now 2 of 3 for total 16 yards. Pastorini is 2 of 3 for 64.
Squeaky, number 33, J.C. Wilson almost got burned on that one.
He's going to have his work cut out for him today, going up against Cliff Branch. Branch with 22 receptions, 393 yards, 2 touchdowns. Draw play. Hit in the backfield. Curly Colton's there and knocks down his book guard Jensen at the 41-yard line. Going to be a loss of 3. Third down of 13 facing the Raiders.
No other scores on the scoreboard. Everybody got to wait a while before they get their ball game started. Our score 7-0 in case you just joined us. Campbell has scored his 13th touchdown of the year. And the Oilers lead it 7-0 over the Raiders with 5:26 to go in the first quarter.
Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Dalby over the football at the 41-yard line. Sidelines left, open field to the right. Stabler, straight drop to throw, under pressure, steps up into the pocket, delivers the ball, has a man wide open at the 25-yard line and inside the 25 to the 23. First and 10 Oakland Raiders. Raymond Chester was all alone.
Stabler should never have gotten the ball away. He was rushed terribly. Thought for a moment he was going to be hit, but he found Chester at the last minute. He is scrambling for his life back there as what has been a pretty good protection is beginning to break down a little bit. The Oilers are getting closer to it. Bob Phillips said before the ball game started, the key is going to be whether they can get to him or not. They have not as yet, but they've gotten very close and racked him a couple of times just as he's thrown the football.
As Bum termed it, he said, we got to get some push on Stabler today. That time they came closer, but they have yet to put him down for a sack. First and 10 Raiders. Houston 24-yard line. Oilers lead at 7-0. Stabler back in the pocket to throw. All the time in the world over the middle. Has a man there. Complete at the 10. He'll score at the 5. Touchdown. Chester.
Chester as a defensive man, and I don't know who it was, made a dive to try to make the interception.
Vernon Curry cut in front, thought he had the interception, and the ball was just over his fingertips. Ron Stabler's got all the time in the world.
Oh, yeah.
He could order a soft drink and hot dog.
Touchdown comes with 4:21 remaining in the first period. 12 plays, 79 yards. Drive the extra point coming now.
Breach to attempt the extra point at the 10-yard line. Low pass from center. Ball is down. Pick is on its way, and it's good. We got a tie ball game with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left to play in the first period. Timeout on the field. Our score, Houston 7 and Oakland 7. Houston Order football continues in a moment.
In college football Saturday, Alfred 16, Buffalo 3, Boston U 16, Connecticut 12, Boston State 16, Bridgewater State nothing. Catholic U 13, St. Francis 12, California of Pennsylvania 24, Shippensburg nothing. Central Connecticut 35, Northeastern 21, Colgate 20, Bucknell 2, Cornell 24, Columbia 7, Dartmouth 24, Brown 10, Delaware State 21, North Carolina A&T 21, Edinburgh 15, Westminster 14, Fordham 35, Albany 28, Franklin and Marshall 7, Lebanon Valley nothing. Geneva 24, Allegheny 6, Gettysburg 31, Ursinus 10, Grove City 28, Washington and Jefferson nothing. Harvard 41, Penn 26, Hobart 13, RPI 9, Holy Cross 20, Massachusetts 18.
4 minutes and 21 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and we've got a tie ball game, 7-7. Stabler to Ray Chester, 23-yard touchdown strike. They went 79 yards in 12 plays, and look at ball control, Ron. 7 minutes and 8 seconds they hold on to the ball. And that's what Mr. Stabler can do when he is on his game, and certainly he appears to be on his game so far. He's
missed on only one pass on the drive. Mostly they stayed on the ground, but he hit it when he had to. On his first time this year that both teams have taken the ball in first possession and gone for touchdown. Out of there for the 10, 15 across the 20, and hit hard down at the 23-yard line. So with 4:13 to play in the first period, Oilers get the ball for only the second time in this period. And they're tied at 7 apiece. Well, you think he's going to come out fogging again like he did, or is Pastorini going to settle down and get conservative and hand off a lot? Let's see. Don't see any sense to change unless Oakland wants to try to take the pass away. Then there's a little room for the Rose to run. From the 22-yard line, I set in the backfield. Renfro comes in motion. Inside handoff. Earl Campbell, near side of the field, tries to get outside of Renfro's block. Won't be able to do it. Lester Hayes is there at the 25-yard line. Well, Renfro was trying to fight off a block there, trying to throw the block, but Lester Hayes kept fighting him off, and he never could get Hayes out of the way. Then twice Campbell has run at Hayes, and twice Hayes has prevailed. That was an all-Southwest Conference affair there. TCU against Texas A&M, with Texas carrying the football. Speaking of Southwest Conference affairs, they had one in this house last night. I was in Houston, played last night, and the roof is back on, but not sure how it stayed on. Ron, I was here, and I thought not only the roof, but maybe at the seams, it was just going to pop. Sidelines right, open field to the left side. Again, Renfro goes in motion. It's second down at 6. Campbell in trouble in the backfield, going to be hit and knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. Rod Martin from his linebacking spot along with Dave Pear and Phil Villapiano. And the Oilers right now with a second down or third down, let's make it, and a long 7 yards to get this first. That time, Timmy Wilson is the man who was supposed to clear the block for him, but he never could get rid of the linebacker. And it was Rod Martin who came in to make the tackle. Oilers number 13 total offense in the AFC. 4th best rush, but 13th best pass. And now we're in a passing situation on 3rd and 7. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play, and this is the first period. Pastorini with a long count. Inside handoff goes to Tim Wilson. Breaks it out, caught by the ankles as he reaches the 30-yard line. And number 73, Browning, is there to bring him down. It's going to be 4th down and a kicking situation for the Houston Oilers. Tim was within 1 step of breaking that for the first down and more yardage. Had his shoe taken off, and that's where the tackle came from. It was an ankle-high grab by Browning. Matthews, number 43, drops off at a single safety for the Oakland Raiders. First punt of the afternoon for either ball club. Cliff Parsley waiting for the snap at the 16-yard line. Parsley with an average of 41.9. His longest is 57 yards this year. Here comes his kick. Driving spiral. Good return kick. On the run, ball is fumbled by Matthews. Scramble for it. Oilers have it at the 40-yard line. Teddy Thompson is on the football. Matthews tried to run with the ball before he caught it. Never got a hold of it. Ted Thompson comes up with a key recovery. Ron, here's a marker down at the line of scrimmage. Holding Houston Oilers. Wipe it out. Well, that's tough luck for the Oilers because Ted Thompson had come up with a football, but that old bugaboo holding has hit the Oilers. Good break as far as the white-shirted Oakland Raiders are concerned. Here's Tunney. Holding at the line of scrimmage, number 42, 10 yards, 4th down. Well, Boobie Clark is flagged for holding. Ron, I'm trying to recollect. That's the first holding call against the punting team at either club I can remember for the whole year. Yeah, I don't recall any holding penalties. They've gotten off the line too quickly, but everybody does that, and they've chop blocked when they shouldn't, but I don't think anybody's been holding. And there was not a particularly tough rush on Cliff Parsley that time either. Matthews, who ran a 108-yard kickoff back against San Diego, gets a reprieve. Gets a big reprieve. Parsley waits at the 6-yard line. Good pass. Here's his kick. He barely got that one away. Good hanging spiral. Matthews all the way back to the 25-yard line. Loses his footing. Back up again. Marker is down. He fumbled again. The Oilers have recovered it again. As we get a marker tossed away at the 30-yard line. Now, this is going to be a clip against Oakland, I'll bet you. Boobie Clark has rectified things for himself. He has recovered the fumble. Nobody saying anything as yet. Oilers ball. On back-to-back plays, Ira Matthews fumbling the football on punt. This one was just a booming spiral by
Cliff Parsley. Matthews lost his footing. He tripped over nothing at the 26-yard line. Just dropped the football without being hit, and it was recovered by Bowie Clark, who was called for holding just a moment ago. Oilers have the football at the Oakland 27. We got 1:43 to play in an action-packed first period. Oilers 7 and Oakland 7. Pastorini under center. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. The lone setback is Earl Campbell. Gets the call. Right tackle. Puts his head down. Will go inside the 25 to the 24. Not much doing there against the stubborn Oakland defensive unit. It'll be a pickup of 2. Second down and 8 coming. John Matuszak in the ball game, credited with a stop for Oakland. They'll spot it just inside the 25.
Wonder when Matuszak has to report to his parole officer. He got a DWI down in Oakland last week, and they let him out to come play the ball game. Nothing new for John.
Same offensive set. 1 setback is Earl Campbell. Here goes Renfro in motion against the line of scrimmage. Second down and 8. Earl Campbell, right side, breaks it open, has 5 yards, goes over 1 tackler inside the 20. He's down to the 18-yard line. Ball was fumbled. Play is dead. Close to the first down, but he'll be short by a yard and a half. Jack Tatum is there defensively to make the stop of the Raiders. The Oilers look at a 3rd down and about 1, let's call it.
Boy, Tatum hit him awfully hard again. That guy punishes when he hits. You've read an awful lot and you've heard an awful lot about the way Tatum hits. The hits that he's put on Campbell have been clean, hard hits, but boy, they've been as hard as anybody can. I don't see how he keeps hurting himself. 39 seconds left to go in the first quarter. 7-7 tie.
2 tight end alignment. Wing to the left side is Rob Carpenter. Here comes Carpenter in motion. Pastorini inside give. Earl Campbell breaks it through for the first down to the 16-yard line. First and 10, Houston Oilers. Again, it's Tatum up from his secondary spot along with Lester Hayes. But the Oilers sitting on a 1st and 10 at the Oakland 16. Tie ball game, and that will be the end of the first period as we come down to 12 seconds, now 11. And the Oilers are just going back to the huddle at the 25-yard line, so they will move to the other end of the field. 4 seconds, now 3 and 2. That's the end of the first period. Time out on the field with our score. The Houston Oilers 7, the Oakland Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
In college football Saturday, Ithaca 35, Brockport State 7, Kutztown 31, Mansfield 7, Lafayette 21, Wagner 3, Lehigh 12, Maine 6, Rock Haven 42, Slippery Rock 26, Muhlenberg 14, Moravian 6, Norwich 34, Middlebury 20, Pittsburgh 24, West Virginia 17, Plymouth State 35, Curry 24, Rhode Island 24, Kings Point 24, Rutgers 20, Army nothing, St. Lawrence 35, Rochester 28, Seton Hall 35, Coast Guard 20, Southern Connecticut 21, Cortland State 7, Springfield 34, New Hampshire 14, Susquehanna 8, Wilkes 7, Syracuse 30, Navy 14, Temple 42, Akron 6.
Hey, 7-7 is our score at the end of the first quarter. The Oilers scored first as Campbell went in from a yard out, and then Oakland came right back on their possession. Sabler to Chester, 23 yards to tie it up. Around here are the first period statistics. The Oilers with 4 first downs, the Raiders with 5. Total yardage, Houston 88 and Oakland 79. Pastorini 2 of 3 for 64 yards, and Ken Sabler 4 of 5 for 57 with 1 touchdown. Individual stats, Earl Campbell 9 carries for 19 yards. Jensen 5 carries for a total of 10 yards. Booker Russell 2 for 12. Tim Wilson 1 for 5. Third down conversions, Oilers 3 of 4, and Oakland so far is perfect. 3 of 3 in third down conversions. That's the way it looks at the end of the first 15 minutes. Oakland had their hands on the football for half of that 15 minutes. They held it for 7 minutes and 8 seconds. And the rest of the time it's been the Oilers. Thanks to a couple of fumbles, the Oilers now are in scoring position once again.
Houston to the line of scrimmage. First and 10 at the Oakland 16-yard line. 2 tight end alignment, 2 wide receivers. The lone setback is Earl Campbell. 7-7 our scores. We open the second period as Renfro comes in motion. Inside handoff, inside the 20, inside the 15, I should say, down to the 11-yard line. Is Tim Wilson. Wilson, who was the lone setback, and now Earl Campbell will check back in the ballgame as Dave Pear is there defensively for the Raiders.
Ron, it's interesting, I think, that the Oilers scored the first time they had their hands on the football, primarily because Pastorini came out throwing the ball to move them downfield. Now, the last 7, 8 times they've had their hands on the ball, they've stayed on the ground. So a reversal of form. Throwing first, playing cautious now.
Carl Mock over the football at the 11-yard line. Oilers with a second down and 5. Earl Campbell, inside handoff, fumbles the ball, scramble for it. I think Oakland has it. Phillips on the 12-yard line. Oakland has recovered the fumble. Bill Villapiano recovers the Earl Campbell fumble. Right now, let's pause 15 seconds for a message from your local station. This is the Houston Oilers Radio Network.
In college football Saturday, Tufts 35, Bates 7, VMI 13, Marshall 3, Waynesburg 41, Duquesne 7, Wesleyan 17, Trinity 7, Widener 35, Swarthmore 17, Yale 35, Princeton 10.
Back in the Astrodome in Houston, Texas, Ron Franklin along with Ron Stone and Marco Rosano. The Oilers have just had a very fine drive, stopped by a fumble by Earl Campbell. Bill Villapiano has recovered the ball at the 12-yard line, and the Oakland Raiders stop that one and take over the football. Right now, let's pause again. You're listening to the Houston Oilers Radio Network.
Taking a look at the scoreboard of the National Football League, Cincinnati is leading San Diego by the score of 7-0. Johnson on a 1-yard plunge in that game. Robinson scoring for Detroit against Tampa Bay, so the Lions are leading Tampa Bay 7-0 in the first quarter. Bradshaw to Stallworth for Pittsburgh, 25 yards, and the Steelers leading Kansas City 7-0 in the first quarter. Smith has scored for Seattle in that game at Cleveland on 5-yard run, so Seattle leading Cleveland 7-0. Greasy to Moore at Miami for 18 yards and a touchdown. The Dolphins 7-0 over the Baltimore Colts.
First quarter score surprising. Cincinnati 14, San Diego nothing. How do you figure that one?
You know, Ron, you come up with that and you say surprising. They're a good enough football team to do that every week, but they just don't put it together.
And the Oilers get them next week here.
Saber for the 12-yard line. Running play. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Ball is fumbled. Who's got it at the 10? Saber has recovered.
Saber just handed the ball off, and I think Darrell Hunt is the guy who came in to make the hit. So it may have been Brazil, and the ball was just tripped away, but picked up by an Oakland Raider. So the Oilers now miss a golden opportunity. The ball is back on the 10-yard line, however.
Second down and 12, Oakland Raiders living dangerously inside their own 20-yard line. Ball recovered, though, by the men in white. Mark Whittington out of SMU checks in at tailback. Casper comes in motion. Quick pitch comes back to Whittington. Tries to turn it up at the 10-yard line. Belted out of bounds very hard to the near side of the field as Vernon Perry caught him with a head-high tackle. It was J.C. Wilson who turned the play up. And it'll be a gain of 3 in the play. Second down or third down for the Raiders, and about 9 yards to get the first. Houston 7, Oakland 7, 13:31 to play in the first half.
Arthur Whittington just activated for this ball game. He had only carried the ball 34 times coming into the game because he had a foot injury and has missed an awful lot. Gives him some very much needed speed getting outside.
Tight in alignment again, but Chester comes out split about 5 yards to the right side, joining Branch. Stabler back in the pocket to throw. Pressure is on, pass well underthrown and incomplete. Cliff Branch was standing all alone at the 25-yard line, but Stabler didn't have time to look as the save was coming from the right side. Ted Washington was applying pressure from the left side.
I think Teddy hit him just as he threw the ball. That's what made it go awry. 13:26, the clock stops, and the Oilers get a chance to get their hands back on the football. As retreating back is Richard Ellender, who averages just something like just about 8.5 yards for a punt return. He does have a 36-yard punt return. Keep in mind that Smith of Kansas City once ran one back 88 yards against these guys for a touchdown, so it can be done.
if Ellinger's ever fielded a punt out of a cannon before. He's about to see one if he hasn't. Ray Guy standing at the goal line. Gets a good pass, and here's his kick. Good heavens. Ellinger all the way back to the 32-yard line. Return near side, 35 at the 40. Turns the corner and is tripped up. One arm comes out at the 45-yard line. Ellinger had a lot of running room on the near side of the field. And the man who made what was a lot of acre-saving touchdown is Booker Russell. Time out of the field with 13-14 to play till halftime at our score. The Oilers 7 and the Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
In college football Saturday, Florida State 27, South Carolina 7. Furman 23, Western Carolina 14, Georgia 33, Florida 10, Georgia Tech 21, Air Force nothing. Grambling 22, South Carolina State 15, Howard 31, North Carolina Central 20, James Madison 16, Moorhead State 3, Kentucky 29, Vanderbilt 10, Knoxville 12, Lane nothing, Lenoir-Rhyne 10, Elon 7. Liberty Baptist 17, Canisius 10, Livingston 10, Delta State nothing, Maryville 14, Center 6, McNeese State 41, Louisiana Tech 7, Memphis State 10, Louisville 6, Mississippi Valley 17, Alabama State nothing, Morgan State 17, Virginia State 7, Morris Brown 24, Bethune-Cookman 21.
Along to you. One other score to pass along to you in the National Football League. Washington up on St. Louis 7-0 first period. Cincinnati 14, San Diego nothing first period score. Pastorini now working for 45. Waters on first down. Play action. Pastorini looking. He's going to go long, and Burrow is there at the 10-yard line. He's got it at the 5. Touchdown. Waters lead it 13-7. With 13:06 to play till halftime, and all of a sudden, the bomb has come back into prominence here at the Astrodome. Monty Jackson was the man who was burned, and burned very badly. Nothing he could do. Monet's longest pass reception of the year. Burrow's longest was 41 yards. That one goes, what, 55 officially. Kenny's third touchdown of the year. This crowd is just going nuts at the Astrodome. Far and away the most exciting game that we've had here in the Dome this year. It's been pure excitement both ways. Tony Fritz to attempt the extra point. Yip Nielsen with a hole, kick is up, and it's good. Timeout on the field, 13:06 to play until halftime with our new score. The Oilers 14 and the Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
On the scoreboard, at the end of the first period, St. Louis and Washington tied at 7-7. Buffalo and the New York Jets scoreless at the end of the first quarter, but early in the second period, Buffalo scoring on a 1-yard run by Collier. And so it is Buffalo leading the Jets 7-0 early in the second quarter. Cincinnati leading San Diego by the score of 14-0, and Cincinnati's second score in that football game coming in spectacular fashion on a 98-yard interception return by Ray Griffin. Griffin, a 2-year veteran out of Ohio State, but he's coming through in great shape on that one. A 98-yard pass interception return, and so Cincinnati leading San Diego by the score of 14-0. That game is in the first quarter at Cincinnati. Miami leading Baltimore 7-0. That's at the end of the first quarter. And Pittsburgh is 10-0 ahead of Kansas City at the end of the first quarter, as we mentioned.
We are having fun here at the Astrodome on this Sunday afternoon as the Oilers lead it 14-7 over the Oakland Raiders. Dan Pastorini just reared back and fired to Kenny Burra. 55 yards for the touchdown. The drive is 8 seconds long. Ron Pastorini is 3 of 4 for 119 yards. And we're giving a lot of credit to Dan and also to Double Dot, Ken Burrow, and also to Mike Renfro. But let's give some credit to an offensive line. Dan has had all the time in the world to stand back there and throw the football. Oilers right now on 3 possessions with 147 yards. Here's Fritz's kick. It's going to come down to Matthews at the 3-yard line. 10, 15 at the 20. That's going to be the end at the 23-yard line. Ed Thompson, again, a special team. He's working on himself a wristwatch for next week, huh? I know he's already got one. He's working on a second one. He's going to get one from Mama for Christmas. That's it. Oh, I tell you, Teddy's got to be fussing a little bit. He recovered that fumble a while ago when the play was called back. Orders came right back and got it, though, when Matthews fumbled again. That time, Boobie Clark made the recovery. Here come the Raiders to the line of scrimmage. Ball spotted down at the Oakland 24-yard line. Houston up by 7 points, 14-7. Casper in motion, running plays. Whittington goes left tackle, going to be stood up and hit hard at the 28-yard line. Runs hard for a little guy, but that's a very vulnerable position to be in when you get stood up for the linebacker and in a hurry. Vern Perry came up. Darrell Hunt was the one who had a hold of him. They'll give him forward progress out to the 28-yard line. It's going to be a second down and about 6 to get the first. Our ball game starts late next Sunday. We'll be on the air at 2:35 for a 3 o'clock kickoff against Cincinnati here in the Astrodome. Jimmy Young checks in as left defensive end, spelling Andy Doris. Everything else defensively remains the same. Casper again goes in motion. Stabler back in the pocket to throw. Pressure is on. Scrambling, delivers his pass. It's complete. Up to the 32, the 33-yard line, and Curly Culp gets all the way to the outside to make the tackle. Will not have the first down. Well, that was Robert Brazell who was back there pressuring Stabler. And as he got knocked down, speaking of Dr. Doom, he whipped his legs around and tried to trip up Stabler. I was afraid we were going to get a flag on that. I looked for it. It didn't fall. Casper catches the football, and Stabler is third and very short. Clock runs with 11 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the first half. Oilers 14, Raiders 7. Two-time in alignment. Wing to the right side, the Raiders. Third down and short. Stabler spins, hands it off. Jensen hit very hard at the line of scrimmage. Fights his way forward. I believe he has the first down, but it would be by just a very, very narrow margin. Did not reach the 35-yard line. Or his head came popping back as he was hit. Robert Brazell is the first man there along with Greg Bingham, but I think he got the first down. Yeah. First down for the Oakland Raiders. They have handled the football 3 times so far. The Oilers have had it 4 times, as far as drives are concerned. And they've turned 2 of those into touchdowns. Raiders, first time they had their hands on the football, went 79 yards for a touchdown. Clock runs with 11 minutes and 25 seconds to play till halftime. 14-7 lead for Houston. Stabler, pressure is on, steps up into the pocket, delivers it over the middle, good hit, and the ball is dropped. We have a marker down deep at the 46-yard line. Pass was intended for Booker Russell, and Russell was hit a terrible blow by Darrell Hunt, knocked the ball away. Holding penalty against the Oilers is going to be the call. So wipe out a very good play by Hunt. Holding 52, 5 yards, first down. Robert Brazell is flagged for holding. Automatic first down goes with that. The new line of scrimmage, the 39.5-yard line for Oakland. Ball squarely in the middle of the field. Raiders working with the 2 tight ends, Pastor and Chester. The one lone wide receiver, number 21, Cliff Branch, comes off to the right side. Stabler, quick count, play action, puts it on his hip, looking, steps up and delivers over the middle. Ball is knocked down. Nice defensive play by Vernon Perry at the Houston 40-yard line. Tried to go to Raymond Chester, and number 32 moved right in front of him and almost got the football. Vernon Perry. Once again, though, Ron, lots of time for Stabler back there. He got bumped pretty good as he was delivering by Teddy Washington. Teddy has been there along with Robert Brazell. The orders continue to alternate, sending the linebackers on the blitz. First the weak side, then the strong side. Second down at 10, Oakland Raiders. Line of scrimmage just across their own 39-yard line. Houston 3-4, defensive alignment. Stabler back in the pocket. Pressure is on, screen to the near side. Booker Russell, 40, 45 at the 50. Head-high tackle by Vernon Perry in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Looked like Stabler was going to get caught that time. As a matter of fact, Norris did duck him.
deck him rather, before he could duck. Maybe he ducked him, I'm not sure. Well, he got the ball away to Russell. Russell down the sidelines, and the drive stays alive as far as the Oakland Raiders are concerned. 11:02 to play till halftime. Oilers 14, Oakland Raiders 7. Houston with 147 total yards, 5 first downs. The Raiders 8 first downs, total yardage 105. From the Houston 47-yard line, moving to the backfield by Booker Russell. Art Whittington goes left side, has a nice gain of 5 yards, and that's going to come back. As Russell moved before the snap of the ball, and the 5 yards will be stepped off against the Oakland Raiders. They've turned the ball over once, but they haven't made very many mistakes as far as penalties are concerned. The Oilers have made a few more than they have.
Illegal motion, 34, 5 yards, still first down.
That's the voice of Jim Tunney, our referee today. Crew that some of the players called, and the players shall remain nameless, the holding crew. Said they like to drop the yellow hanky and call holding, and so far that's been the bulk of the penalties today, both offensively and defensively. We saw one on a punt a moment ago. Stabler, straight drop in the pocket to throw, delivers over the middle, ball is complete at the Houston 47. They're back to the initial line of scrimmage. Reinfeld is there to make the hit. Pass complete to Chester. So it's going to be second down and 10. Reinfeld was anticipating quite well and came close. He wanted to step around, it appeared, to make the interception, and couldn't, but he was right on top of Chester. That'll be a pickup of 5. Stabler's gone to his passing game now after being on the ground for his touchdown drive. He has been in the air almost exclusively this go-round. Seattle 13-0 over Cleveland in the first period. Oilers could get some real help there. Stabler wants to throw. Blitz is on, delivers his pass. Brandt drops the football at the 30-yard line. He was decked by Greg Simrick. Cliff seemed to notice the folks around him and dropped the football. Concentration was not good. And it was Robert Brazell who was putting pressure on the Snake. Branch, of course, a Houston high school star. But that time, he turned around and looked at Simrick. He heard him coming. He heard something. So it'll be a third down. Play the football up in Colorado. The Raiders, 4 of 5 on third down conversions. Here they come to the line of scrimmage. Third down to the big 10 yards to pick up the first. Stabler back in the pocket. Pressure's on. Jesse Baker is there, and he's going to be stopped. Back at the 41-yard line. Well, Jesse Baker just really did a job on Raymond Chester. He came back, and Chester tried to block him, and he just threw him out of the way and got the sack. Super coverage by the secondary of the Houston Oilers. Line of scrimmage will be back at the Oakland 43, and they're out of downs. They'll have to give it up by the punt. Ray Guy comes on. Your count sack, that's 15.5 for Jesse Baker. And the guy doesn't even get to start. Some kind of bench strength, huh? As our producer just said, he gets to finish, though. Yes. And he has quite a few quarterbacks this year. Just under the 10-minute mark left to play in the first half. Oilers lead at 14-7. Here's Guy's kick. It is just a mountain of a kick. Hellender back to the 3-yard line. Return to the right. At the 10, at the 15, at the 20. Still on his feet. And he runs out of bounds across the way at the 20-yard line. Got a flag, Rod. Very good run back by Richard Hellender, who was trapped back at the 3, but somehow got away. But we do have a flag. And the call is going to be against Oakland. They're going to have to do it all over again. Ron, the hang time on that kick was 5 seconds, or just a little bit over. 53 yards distance. Guy's just amazing. Ray Guy out of southern Mississippi. And Hellender now has got to go back and do that thing all over again. And he knows it's going to be up there for a long time.
Lineman number 57 down too soon on a kick. Still fourth down.
John Huddleston went down too fast. Hellender caught that one around the 3-yard line. And now he's going to be standing somewhere around the 9 or the 10. You know, the only way to train a deep safety man to receive his kicks would be to toss him off the gondola during practice of the week. You could drop him from a helicopter. You could bomb him, you know. The guy's been blocked once this year. That's the only way to stop him. Oilers had the return on this one's going to be far shorter. At the 19-yard line, Hellender returned to the right. At the 25, knifes his way across the 30 and out to the 32. Only 3.5 seconds hang time on that one. Not a good kick by Ray Guy. Timeout on the field with 9:34 to play till halftime, at our score, the Oilers 14
9, the Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
Terry Bradshaw has just thrown a 16-yard pass to Lynn Swan, and in the second quarter, Pittsburgh leading Kansas City 17-0. Sherman Smith has just scored on a 2-yard run for Seattle, but Seattle missed the extra point, and so it's 13-0 Seattle over Cleveland in the first quarter. A missed extra point may also turn out to be important at Shea Stadium. Kevin Long just scored for the Jets, but New York muffed the extra point. So in the second quarter at Shea Stadium, it's Buffalo 7, the New York Jets 6. Both teams unable to score in the first quarter. Elsewhere, Miami leading Baltimore 7-0. That's in the first quarter at Miami. Cincinnati 17-0 over San Diego after one period. Tampa Bay and Detroit tied at 7-7 at the end of the first period. Getting underway shortly, Los Angeles at Chicago, and Minnesota will be getting underway shortly at Green Bay. That game will be played in Milwaukee.
So other scores in the National Football League. Miami has scored on Baltimore 7-0. They lead that one. Buffalo has scored on the Jets. They lead the ball game 7-6. Cincinnati surprising San Diego 14-0 in the second period, and a surprise Steelers, not a surprise, 17-0 Steelers winning their ball game. A surprise score is Seattle 13-0 over Cleveland in the first period. St. Louis has tied Washington 7-7 first period. What's even more amazing, that ball game's in Cleveland. Two wide receivers go right. Pastorini, very long count. Inside handoff, Earl Campbell. Going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. Very short yardage. Maybe a pickup of 2 as he comes out to the 34-yard line. Rod Martin, along with Dave Browning, defensively for the Oakland Raiders, there to make the stop. Going to be a second down and 8. Ron, I just noticed Mike Barber is on the sidelines in civilian clothes now. He came out and worked out with the club, but apparently the knee is bothering him, so he's standing on the sidelines in his jeans, and we won't be seeing him today. I wonder if that means that he will be going in for an operation. We saw him walking off the field after pregame warm-up for Bum Phillips, and he was well behind the rest of the team, walking along, talking with Bum. Pastorini back to throw as the marker is down, has Pastor far side of the field across the 40, out to the 41-yard line, close to the first down, and let's check the marker that's been thrown at the line of scrimmage. Penalty is going to be called against the Oilers. Detroit 7-0 over Tampa Bay, second period score. The big one that we'll watch is the Seattle-Cleveland game. The Oilers need for Cleveland to lose the ball game, and the Oilers need to win. Here's the call.
Illegal formation. Lineman not up on the line of scrimmage. Still second down.
All right. Run through all of that. Could you hear Carl Bach? Yes, I could hear Carl. Carl is yelling a little bit at Mr. Tunney that somebody was up there and suggesting that Mr. Tunney might want to do the Battle of the Network Stars and leave NFL football alone. Wide receiver to either side, 2 tight end alignment. The lone setback is Earl Campbell. Oilers with a second down and 13. Houston leads it 14-7. Pastorini gives it to Earl Campbell. Gets outside at the 35, at the 40, out to the 42, close to the Houston first down. Piano is the man who finally pulled him down from behind, but he turned the corner nicely and they got the first down. 14 yards in the carry by Earl Campbell, his longest gainer of the afternoon. First and 10 Houston Oilers. Ron, he is halfway there with 34 yards. He needs 68 yards rushing to become the first AFC player ever to rush 1,000 yards in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And he's halfway home. Lines left, open field to the right side. Out to the left is where Ken Burrow comes. He's working against Johnson, and he burned him just a while ago in the touchdown. Pastorini, play action, looking, going to go to Burrow. He's there, down at the 37. Fumbles the ball, scramble for it, and Oakland has recovered at the 38-yard line. Kenny was hit, the ball was knocked out of his hands. Piano came up with it. Burrow was hurt. He got hit right in the back as he backed up, and somebody really decked him good right in the back of the neck. Piano is the guy who came up with the ball. It seemed to be the whistle might have been a little bit late. Those of you who are watching on television and listening at home, he has caught the ball. Now he is hit. Now he is going down, and now there comes the ball free. So I guess it's okay. Good call. But Burrow is holding the back of his neck. That's where the helmet seemed to hit him. Jack Tatum making the tackle. And there was nothing wrong with the hit. As you see, he just put an exception of the fact that he put his headgear right in the small of his back. Well, it is still a legal thing to do until they make it illegal to use your hat as a battering ram. No, you cannot use the top of your headgear. That's Sperry this year. Penalty was put in. He's up and he's walking off the field. Time out on the field with 7:35 to play till halftime, and our score: the Oilers 14 and the Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
In college football Saturday, Norfolk State 26, Bowie State 6, Penn State 9, North Carolina State 7, Presbyterian 34, Carson Newman 28, Tennessee 40, Notre Dame 18, Tennessee Chattanooga 28, the Citadel 7, Texas Arlington 24, Southwest Louisiana 10, Towson State 22, CW Post 15, Tulane 49, Mississippi 15, Virginia 20, Virginia Tech 18, VMI 13, Marshall 3, Wake Forest 17, Duke 14, Washington and Lee 28, Georgetown 20, William and Mary 9, Appalachian State nothing, Winston-Salem 14, Kentucky State 6, Woolford 48, Davidson 28. Bethel 7, McPherson nothing, Bowling Green 31, Southern Miss 27.
The Raiders have picked up another Oiler fumble. Last week the Oilers played flawless football as far as turnovers are concerned. Took advantage of 4 Miami mistakes to win the ball game. And now the Oilers have fumbled the ball twice. The Raiders have fumbled twice. And it's another drive that is stalled. The ball is the 38-yard line for Oakland. Man goes in motion, running play. It's Whittington tries the right side, comes to the 39-yard line. Gerald Hunt is there to make the tackle. Right now, let's pause 15 seconds for a message from your local station. This is the Houston Oilers Radio Network.
Just getting underway now at Chicago, the Los Angeles Rams and the Chicago Bears. Los Angeles and New Orleans tied for first place in the West. Chicago 2 games behind Tampa Bay in the Central.
Cincinnati 14, San Diego has kicked the field goal 3. Playing in the second period. Our score, the Raiders 7, the Oilers 14 with 6.5 to go. Sweep to the left side. Whittington has a block at the 45. He's out to the 50-yard line and is run out of bounds across the way. 19, Willie Alexander is out there to push him out of bounds. And as Ron accurately stated a while ago, Whittington gives them a dimension in the backfield that they have been missing. And that is that quick burst of speed. He does a great job of getting outside. Jensen will check in and replace him. Jensen more the power type runner than the quick burst of speed as Art Whittington has. Whittington out of Cuero, Texas, played his college football at SMU. Ball just across the 50-yard line. 6 minutes and 50 seconds to play till halftime. Oilers lead by 7. Stabler back in a play action. Under pressure from Bethea. Throws across the middle. Nobody is there.
Well, nobody was there to pick up Bethea. Was coming in after Bethea and Doris were both there chasing him. And huge Art Shell was trying to do the best he could to keep him away. 6'5", at least 290, but who knows what he weighs. Right, here's the report on Ken Burrow. Bruised ribs will return. A good shot from Tatum just a moment ago, and the Oilers have fumbled twice in Raider territory and turned the football over. Both times recovered by Phil Villapiano. 2 wide receivers come to the right side this time. 1 wide receiver left. Shell and Jesse Baker on the line to collide now as Jesse's going to try to get another sack. Second down, Staver in the pocket. Flag is down, pass thrown complete. Knocked down at the 45-yard line. We've got 1, 2, 3 flags down at the field. Far downfield, around where Willie Alexander was covering defensively, a marker was thrown late.
Illegal motion, number 21 offense. Illegal contact, number 19 defense. They offset, and we will replay. Still second down.
Well, there you have it from Jim Tunney. Offsetting penalty, so it'll be second down and 10 once again from the 50-yard line.
Cliff Branch moved a little too soon, and Willie Alexander hit somebody when he shouldn't have. San Diego scores again. It is Cincinnati 14, San Diego 10 as South is bringing it back.
They can do it in a hurry, the way they play offense. Same offensive set. Two wide receivers to the right, one out to the left side. Stabler back to throw. Pressure is on. Steps up into the pocket, delivers. One-handed catch by Castor at the 41-yard line. Making Chester, number 88. Willie Alexander on the tackle, but he just reached behind him because the pass was not well thrown and grabbed it in with one hand.
Oh, that's pretty. That is also scary when they can do things like that. Stabler fires with that left hand, and one hand goes up, and Raymond Chester just pulls it down with his right hand, and Willie Alexander makes the tackle. Third down and short.
Clock runs with 6:05 to play till halftime. Houston up by 7 points, and the Raiders are driving. It started back at the 37-yard line where Houston fumbled. Third down and 1. Running play. Booker Russell goes left tackle, has the first down. We've got a marker deep downfield.
They ran at Shell's position, and there's going to be a holding penalty, I think, against the Raiders. Let's see. They've got a first down from where the ball is, and they're going to measure it to make sure what all this looks like. If it's not a first down, the Oilers will say forget the whole thing. It's a holding penalty that's going to be called.
Dave Casper has been flagged for holding. Now to bring the change in from the near side.
It's a first down on the chain. Now they decide what they're going to do with the Oilers take the penalty.
Ball was on number 87, holding 10 yards, still third down.
Do you realize that Casper has, I think, been shut out in the ballgame? Am I right about that? I don't think he's caught a pass.
Nope. Jensen, Branch, Chester, and Chester. Chester with 4 catches for 55. Third down, 11 yards to pick up the first. New line of scrimmage, the Oakland 49 as the crowd comes to life. Houston leads at 14-7. Stabler back in the pocket. Pressure is on. Screen pass. Booker Russell. 50, 45 at the 40. Turn to flip at the 35-yard line. First and 10 Oakland Raiders.
Got to give Stabler credit for that one. A very good call as he suckered him in and they came at him. But they set up the screen beautifully and they got the first down. Ken Stabler continues to be a master. The clock continues to run here. 5 minutes and about 25 seconds left to go as he hits Booker Russell down the sideline, and they move to a first down at the 33-yard line. 14 Oilers, 7 Raiders. 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the half. Stabler calls him set. 2 tight end alignment, 1 wide receiver. Art Whittington goes to the left side. Inside the 30, he's down to the Houston 28-yard line. Defensively, Curly Culp is there along with Greg Stimmery. It's going to be a second down at about 5 yards to pick up the first. Total yardage today, the Raiders now with 144 and 10 first downs. Houston with 6 first downs, 182 yards. Seattle scores again. Seattle 16, Cleveland nothing. Pittsburgh 17, Kansas City nothing. Second period score. Ken Stabler, eye set in the backfield. This time he has Casper. Split out to the right side. Goes to motion. Pitchback goes and fumbles at the 32-yard line. Oakland has recovered the ball as Art Whittington lost the handle on it. Robert Brazil was right on top of him. And the Raiders have a player down at the 23-yard line. That's Booker Russell. Booker tried to throw a block on somebody down there, and I believe it was Hunt that he tried to throw the block on, and both of them got up very slowly. Hunt is up and walking around now, but Russell is staying on the ground, and I would think to lose him would be a serious blow as far as their offense is concerned, because he has been very active. He's up and he's walking off under his own power and apparently is all right. 4 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first period. The Oilers at home next week against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are so far holding on to a lead over San Diego, 16-10. Now the ball game starts at 3 o'clock here in the Astrodome next Sunday. We'll be on the air on the Texas State Network at 2:35 for the Oilers and the Bengals. And remember what happened the last time they played. Goodness gracious, overtime and Fritz time once again. So let's see if that might happen again. It was one of the most amazing football games you've ever seen, unless you just go back to last year in Foxborough. But the same playwright had both of them. 3rd
third down Raiders, third down and 9 for the Houston 32-yard line. Branch comes in motion. Staver back to throw. Sets in the pocket. Parker is down. Pass is complete to Branch. At the 25-yard line, Stimrick hauls him down. And I believe we're going to have holding against the Oakland Raiders from where the marker's been thrown.
I think you're right, too. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's Shell.
Not about the only thing that the Oilers really have been vulnerable to in the last 3 drives is the screen pass, because they're coming after Staver with no holds barred.
Holding 63, 10 yards, still third down.
Well, I mean Upshaw.
They saw a different one than I saw. Upshaw is the man who was caught that time. Upshaw, 34 years old, 6'5", 260, out of Robstown, Texas. And he was holded just a little bit. They got some guys on this football team, Ron, who've been around a while.
Yes, they do.
They're beginning to get a little old, a little long in the tooth.
Got a lot of Texas folks on this team, too, Ron. Third down and 19 on the 42. Stabler back in the pocket. Steps up, delivers the ball. Going to go long. Has a man there, and it's overthrown. Oh, my word. Chester was open at the 10. He had just stepped behind the defense. Had him beaten by a couple. Pass overthrown. It is going to be kicking time.
Ray Guy is in to kick the ball away. Too far as far as field goal situation is concerned, huh?
Ron, the pressure from the inside, I believe it was Jesse Baker, is the only reason that he delivered the ball early. But Chester had cut behind Brazil. Willie Alexander was coming over to help. But good heavens, he was there.
Boy, Ron, they ate up a lot of time on that drive. They really used the clock well. Just didn't get any points out of it.
3:35 to play till halftime. Oilers lead it, 14-7. Here's Guy's kick. He just kicks this one a mountain. It's going to go well out of the end zone. Missed the sideline. Now they're going to say he got the sideline.
No, he got to about the 8-yard line.
Folks in the end zone who are help lining it up don't agree with that. And from where it hit out of the field of play, it is a little hard to figure that he nailed it there, but that's what the officials say. Timeout on the field, our score. Houston 14 and the Oakland Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
In college football Saturday, Butler 21, Evansville 10. Central Michigan 37, Eastern Michigan 14. Central Missouri 28, Evangel 24. Delaware 51, Youngstown State 45. Findlay 21, Defiance 7. Fort Hays State 38. Missouri Western 20. Franklin 22. Wilmington 12. Georgetown 23. Indiana Central 14. Indiana 45. Illinois 14. Indiana State 38. Northeast Louisiana 21. Kearney State 24. Wayne State 7. Manchester 19. Bluffton 15. Miami of Ohio 35. Kent State 8. Michigan State 31, Minnesota 17, Missouri 18, Iowa State 9, Muskegon 12, Ohio Wesleyan 10, Nebraska 21, Kansas State 12.
We have 3 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in this first half of this football game. The Oilers 14-7. As it begins to wind down, the Oilers need this ball game today. It doesn't assure anybody of any kind of playoffs, but if you're going to make the playoffs, you got to win this one. 7-3 record for the Oilers. Cleveland is losing. It's a must ball game. Pastorini with a long count. Renfro comes in motion. Inside handoff is to Earl Campbell. Gets outside on the left, going to be caught and knocked down by Rod Martin as he gets to the 11-yard line. Feared for a moment as Earl might have had the corner turned. Martin grabbed him with the jersey and slung him down. Pick up of 3, second down at 7 coming. November was supposed to be a very, very bad month as far as the Oilers are concerned, and it still may be. But after the Miami win, that makes it a little easier. Leading over Oakland now, Cincinnati next week, and Dallas on the 22nd. Not a pleasant month of November for the Oilers. Second down and 7. Ball resting at the Houston 11. Pastorini straight drop to throw. Looking, pumps once, throws the ball well overthrown. Conrad Rucker was the closest man to it out at the 22-yard line.
I think he just dumped it to get rid of it, and Pastorini got knocked down. Stopped the clock, 2 minutes and 43 seconds.
Dan is 4 of 6 for 138 yards, having far and away his best day as far as one half of play. Oilers scored on a 1-yard run by Campbell. In that one, Pastorini hit Renfro on a 47-yard pass to set it all up. Then he hit Burrow on a 55-yard touchdown pass. So it's been a good day for Dan Pastorini. Earl Campbell leaves the ball game. Rob Carpenter checks in, replacing him with a 3rd down and 7. Pastorini straight drop the throw. Looking, delivers over the middle, has it complete out of the 21-yard line. Nice pass and nice catch. Castor on the receiving end. 1st and 10. Houston Oilers out at the 22-yard line. Any question about whether Castor catches in a crowd or not, it should be answered there because, brother, he was in a crowd. And any question about whether Pastorini can still thread the needle should be answered because he put the ball right on the money. 2 men collapse on him. He is hit by Davis, and he's also hit by Tatum, but he holds on to the football. Clock runs with 2:07. Going to have to hurry to get this one off before the 2-minute warning. 2:02, 2:01. Pastorini back to throw, delivers near side, wide open is Tito Merkins, and he caught the ball out of bounds. Tito was not watching the sideline closely enough, took a step back, and with that, the 2-minute warning. Time out of the field with our score. The Oilers 14 and the Raiders 7. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
In college football Saturday, Nebraska-Omaha 23, St. Cloud State nothing. Northern Illinois 28, Toledo 10. Oberlin 6, Hiram 2. Ohio State 34, Iowa 7. Ohio U 27, Cincinnati 7. Pittsburgh State 16, Emporia State nothing. Purdue 24, Michigan 21. SMU 34, Wichita State nothing. Southern Illinois 22, Drake 21. St. Joseph's of Indiana 24, Valparaiso 14. Wayne State 7, Saginaw Valley State 7. Wabash 16, DePaul 13. Washburn 20, Missouri Southern 7. Western Michigan 20, Ball State 10. Western Kentucky 24, Northern Iowa 17. Wisconsin 28, Northwestern 3. Abilene Christian 28, Southwest Texas State 24.
57 seconds remaining in the first half of our ball game. The Oilers 14-7 over the Oakland Raiders. Cincinnati 16, San Diego 10, second period score. Seattle 16, Cleveland nothing, second period score. Pittsburgh 17, Kansas City nothing, second period score. About a week ago, Mr. Franklin suggested they just save everybody the trouble and go ahead and mail the Lombardi Trophy to Pittsburgh. You still think it's figures, Ron? They play like they're not totally human sometimes, don't they? Oh, man. In fact, more often than not. Pastorini with a 2 tight end alignment, 1 wide receiver. Back to throw, sets in the pocket, pressure's on. Going to set up a screen to Earl Campbell, comes all the way back to the 8-yard line. He's running toward the end zone. Now reverses it and gets back out to the 10-yard line. Good heaven. Oh, Earl, wrong way. Came back and did a nice job to catch the screen pass, but he didn't turn around. He kept running toward the end zone. Well, now there's the strange one for you, neighbors. Campbell, I suppose, was a blocking back on that play, but did not do his blocking job, and Pastorini was chased into the end zone. Threw it to Earl, and Earl's momentum was carrying him toward the end zone. He lost 12 yards on that play. He was the screen man. That's where they were going. Ken Burrow is being taken to the locker room early. He's being escorted off the field and I guess possibly going up for x-rays. He got hit in the ribs and fumbled the ball back at the 37-yard line, the Oakland 37. And Kenny is heading on up to the locker room right now. It's just preventative measures here for the Oilers to make sure that he does not have anything broken. So, the Oakland Raiders call a timeout to stop the clock because Houston right now confronted with a 3rd down and 22. Miami has scored again, 13-0. Miami over Baltimore. 1 minute and 38 seconds remaining in the first half of our ball game. And now the Oilers go back to huddle, talk it over, and figure out what they're going to do. Actually, it's television figuring out what they're going to do. They were behind in a spot. So Jim Tunney whistle play down, and Houston goes back to the huddle. This is what we have in first half statistics. Earl Campbell with 37 yards and 13 carries. And And as Ron mentioned at the pregame show, he needs but 68 today to hit 1,000 yards, and he would become the first rusher in the American Football Conference to have 1,000 in his first 2 years of play. Nobody else has ever done that in the American Football Conference. Pastorini, third down at 22. Draw play, Rob Carpenter breaks it out to the 15, out to the 18-yard line, and into the 20. Houston will be far short, about 12 yards to be exact. And fourth down, and with that, the Raiders called another timeout to stop the clock. With 1:28 to play till halftime. Houston up by 7, 14-7.
Ron, the NBC television is here doing a story on the Oakland Raiders, and they are doing a story on the fact that the supposition is that Oakland is going to go ahead and move their franchise out of Oakland, go down and take over Los Angeles, and say to the National Football League, do something about it. And knowing the way these guys have operated before, it sounds plausible. They're on the last year of their contract at the Oakland-Alameda County Coliseum. They're going to get out of that, and they may go flying away.
Cliff Parsley waits for the snap back at the 6-yard line. That's an interesting story. The anxious to see if they can pull it off. Raiders are coming after this one. They got a piece of it. It is partially blocked. Bounding at the 22, at the 25-yard line, and has been recovered by the Oilers at the 26. Lester Hayes, I think, is the man who got it.
It was Lester Hayes who got it one hand out and knocked the ball away, and that's the first time that Cliff has been blocked this year, I think. Am I right about that? Yes. That's the first time Parsley has been blocked this year. Just got a hold of a piece of it, and Oakland has an excellent opportunity to tie up this ball game. Now, there's a minute and 18 seconds remaining. A minute and 18 seconds, and Lester Hayes is the hero of the hour as far as the white-shirted Oakland Raiders are concerned. The ball's on the 26-yard line. Stabler is an extremely dangerous man from in close. He has proven that a bunch of times.
Here they come to the line of scrimmage with 1:18 to play in the first half. 26 yards away. Stabler back to throw. Blitz is on. Steps up and delivers the ball. Branch complete at the 13-yard line. Simrick pushes him all the way back to the 20, but they'll give him forward progress to the 13. That's enough for the Oakland first down. No huddle, and the Raiders quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Clock runs under 1 minute now. 57 seconds. Raiders have one timeout left in the half. Stabler turns and screams something to his wide receivers. Back to throw. Safety blitz is on. Delivers the pass. It is knocked away in the end zone.
Good play by Reinfeldt, as Reinfeldt came dangerously close to getting himself flagged, but he was there nonetheless.
Ken Kennard applying the pressure on Kenny Stabler. Reinfeldt had a chance to intercept it, but was far more interested in knocking the ball down to keep the 6 points away. And it stops the clock with 45 seconds to play till halftime.
Stabler got an awful lot of pressure, let fire, intended it for Brunson, and Reinfeldt was Johnny on the spot. Oilers 14, Raiders 7. 45 seconds to go in the half.
Two wide receivers come right. Stabler back in the pocket, delivers his pass, has Branch complete at the 3-yard line. Boy, did he get whacked after he caught it, but it's a first and goal Oakland Raiders, and Vernon Perry is shaken up.
Vernon Perry also is the man who was caught in the middle, and he is very slow getting up. As a matter of fact, he hasn't gotten up yet. His hat was knocked off his head, and his arm, he is gesturing that his hand or his arm may have been strained a little bit. He was the guy caught right in the middle of the vice. 3 Oilers fall on Branch, and it looked like Branch had taken the brunt of the blow, but I think, as a matter of fact, it was Vernon Perry who got most of the crunch on that one.
Yeah, he took the blow from Greg Bingham. As we get a look at it on the instant replay, in fact, it knocked his headgear off.
We're going to play. Okay, they're going to play for the 3-yard line when they get it back with 35 seconds. Perry is all right, but he's out of Jackson State. Played football up in the Canadian League. Friend of Robert Brazil. Robert said you ought to give this guy a try, and if Robert Brazil says the guy is good enough for a try, then certainly he's good enough for a try. The Oilers brought him in, and he stuck. Good hitter. 35 seconds. The Raiders are just about to tie this thing up, and once again, the Oilers are about to go in tied at halftime, as has happened so many times in the past. New Orleans has kicked the field goal, and they lead San Francisco 3-0 in the first period. Big
game between New England and Denver gets started later. Let's say hi to Vern Perry's mom, who listens to the broadcast down in Mobile. Said before the ball game to be sure to say hi to her. Perry, he's okay. Vernon is all right. He is up and walking around over on the sideline. The doctors have checked him over, and as much as anything, he get his bell rung a little bit. They keep checking his left arm. It's either his shoulder or his elbow. We expect to see him return. Good, hard-nosed football player. Vernon Perry out of Jackson State. Crowd coming to their feet as the Oilers get set defensively. Raiders at the line of scrimmage. That's the 3. Play action pass. Stabler back in the pocket. Looking, delivers over the middle. Touchdown, Dave Casper. There's Casper. 14-13 our score, but the extra point attempt to come. And look at Stabler, Ron. Dr. Doom was lying on top of him after the pass was delivered. Stabler, I'm sure, had to ask Brazil, did we score? Because he couldn't see it. 26-yard drive that took only 4 plays to put together, and it came after a partially blocked kick. Lester Hayes should get credit for part of that touchdown. Now let's see, what's the problem? Oh, we got an injury. We got a ball player injured in Oakland Raider. Yes, Raymond Chester is being helped out of the ball game. They were carrying him for a moment. Now they're putting him down. A couple of his players had picked him up. Nobody saw it. In the excitement of the touchdown, they did not notice that Raymond Chester, who has caught a touchdown pass today, and is the second leading pass receiver as far as the American Football Conference is concerned, has apparently a knee problem out there. And if that is the case, and if he is hurt badly, Oakland is in a bunch of trouble, because that guy represents an awful lot of what their offense has been. We wondered what had happened to Dave Casper. We talked about the fact that Casper had been shut out. Well, indeed, he had been shut out till now. But that 3-yard touchdown strike just now puts him back in business. Tom Flores is coming out of the field to look at his prize receiver, who came into this ball game with 47 receptions. And he's down, and they're looking at his knee. Now they're getting some help. Some of the players from the bench are coming out on the field to help carry him off as the coach turned around and gestured that they would need some help. This indeed a blow to the Oakland Raiders. Got just 29 seconds left to go. 47 catches for 569 yards coming into this ball game, an average of 12.1 and 6 touchdowns. They're going to take him directly to the locker room. At the ball game today, we have him for 4 receptions for 55 yards. Ken Stabler, 12 of 19 for 121 yards. Chester also has a touchdown in the ball game. So the 2 tight ends, Casper and Chester, each with a touchdown. We stand at 14-13 with 29 seconds to play till halftime, and the extra point attempt to come. Chester putting no weight at all on his left leg. And the crowd down to the end zone giving him a good round of applause. Certainly deserves it. He's a great ball player. Jim Breach to attempt the extra point out of the hold of David Hom at the 9-yard line. Good pass from center. Ball is down. Kick is on its way, and it's good. And with 29 ticks left in the clock, right now let's pause 15 seconds for a message from your local station. Our score, Houston 14, Oakland 14. This is the Houston Oilers Radio Network.
On the scoreboard, some halftime scores. Washington 17, St. Louis 7. Pittsburgh leading Kansas City at the half 20-0. Buffalo 7, the New York Jets 6. That's a halftime score. Also at halftime, Miami 13, Baltimore nothing. Miami 13, Baltimore nothing at the half.
29 seconds of football remaining in the first half. It's a tie ball game. Stabler to Casper for 3-yard touchdown pass. They went 26 yards in 4 plays, 49 seconds. And when they took the ball over after that partially blocked kick, we pointed out that nobody is better in a short yardage situation than Ken Stabler. Get him inside the 25-yard line and let the clock start running down. And Stabler out of Alabama acts like that's what the whole game was invented for. And he was brilliant as he moved them down. He went to Branch, pass incomplete, then snake hit Branch once again, and then he found Casper from 3 yards out. And especially the pass to Branch just before the touchdown, and again the pass to Casper had to be right on the money and were. Tie ball game. On here's an injury report from the bench. Vernon Perry, a bruised left shoulder. Okay, will return. And of course the report on Chester is we've just given you. He's been taken to the locker room. Houston 14, Oakland 14.
Jim Breach getting ready to kick off. Little bitty guy. 5'6", 155 pounds.
Here comes his kick. Very long. Richard Ellender will run into the end zone and field this one. Go down on one knee. The Oilers will take over with no time being taken off the clock by taking the automatic touchback. Houston will be 80 yards away with the 29 seconds left. 14-14.
Wonder how anybody as little as Breach could kick the ball that far, but he really boomed it, and Ellender just had to chase it to the corner of the end zone. Now the Oilers, traditionally in this kind of a situation, have just let the time go. They have not tried to do anything with it, so let's see if they're going to now. I'd point out that they have broken a little tradition by the way they're playing today. Put the ball in the air an awful lot more, and gambling more, not nearly as conservative as they have been. Tito Merkins continues to work for Ken Burrow at wide receiver. Earl Campbell comes left tackle, goes 3 yards and now 4, out to the 24-yard line. Rod Martin is the first man there to hit him, along with Dave Pear. Clock runs down now with 16 seconds and 15. Houston will make no effort to stop the clock. That will possibly be the last the last play until halftime. 8 seconds and now 7. Houston with 7 first downs, 198 yards, and the Raiders with 12 first downs, 166 yards. There's the gun. It is halftime with our score. Houston 14 and Oakland 14. We'll have halftime activities with Houston Oilers football continues in a moment. Tony Fritz will kick it off to start this one. We are all tied up. And here's Fritz kick. Matthews and Brunson back at a dual safety. This will be Matthews at the 10-yard line, 15, 20, at the 25, and out to the 30-yard line. Rodemacher now has been thrown from back away from the pile. And it appears that the Oakland Raiders are going to start off with a penalty to open the second half. We also can report that in looking through the glasses down at the bench that Ray Chester did not return for the second half. Left with a knee injury, and it appears that we will not see him in the second half of play, which is indeed bad news if you're an Oakland Raider fan. 51 catches on the year, and you take that out of the offense, and that is very big. Of course, number 87, Casper, will have to help take up the slack.
Number 31 blocking below the waist.
Derek Jensen is the man who was guilty of the foul. Stabler, along with, let's see who they start in the backfield. We see Booker Russell on the field. Jensen also number 31, so it'll be Russell and Jensen as the setbacks. Dave Casper will work at tight end. We see Martini, number 89, at wide receiver, and Cliff Branch goes to the other side. So the Raiders will go with the 1 tight end alignment, 2 wide receivers, 2 setbacks. Running play, Jensen goes left guard, hit hard as he crosses the 15-yard line, out to the 17-yard line. Art Shell is at left tackle, Gene Upshaw the left guard, Dave Dalby is the center, Steve Sylvester the right guard, Henry Lawrence is the right tackle. Defensively for the Oilers, in checking through the glasses, we see one change. Ted Thompson is in the ball game at linebacker, replacing Darrell Hunt, working in the middle with Greg Bingham. The down 3, Andy Doris on the left side of defensive end, Curly Culp is the nose tackle, Elvin Bethea the right defensive end. Washington, Brazil, Thompson, and Bingham. That's the 4 linebackers. J.C. Wilson at left corner, Stimrick at right corner. Running play, Jensen hit at the line of scrimmage, fights his way out to the 20, going to be 3rd down Oakland, 3rd down and 3. Mike Reinfeld, the free safety, and the strong safety, as we check through the glasses, did Vern Perry return? Yes, he did. He is opening in the second half. Curly Culp for the stop for the Oilers. As we open the second half, it's going to be a 3rd down and 3. Houston 14 and the Oakland Raiders 14. Clock runs with 13:50 to play in the 3rd period. Kenny Stabler operating at quarterback. Let's see what the Snake comes up with here on a 3rd down and 3. Straight drop to throw. Deep in the pocket. Looking. Delivers his pass. Wide open is Cliff Branch at the 25-yard line. Knocked down immediately at the 27 by Greg Stimrick. 1st and 10 Oakland Raiders, and they convert on their first 3rd down situation of the second half. Branch just went for the flag. He was there for the 1st down, and Stabler found him. Nobody was close to him. They were playing off of him. And that's all they were looking for, just playing 1st down football as Stabler continues to move the team. 13 minutes and 11 seconds. Clock running. We just started the second half. You just joined us. We had an exciting first half. 14-14 tie. Well, we had nicks and wounds to key personnel. We also can report that double-aught Ken Burrow is on the order bench and appears to be okay. Jensen sweeps to the left side. Only will have 1 yard. Knocked down hard at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle by Ted Thompson. Going to be a gain of 1. 2nd down, a long 9 to pick up the 1st down.
total yardage, Oilers 197, Raiders 179. First downs, Raiders 14, Houston 8. Pastorini has had the hot hand today, 137 yards, 6 of 9 throwing. And for Ken Stabler, 13 of 20 for 128 yards. Another big stat for the Raiders. They're 6 of 9 in third down conversions. Movement at the line of scrimmage, no markers down. Running play comes to the near side. Art Whittington over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Knocked down, will not have much yardage as Elvin Bethea came from his right defensive end spot. And it's going to be a third down, Oakland. Third down, and let's call it 6 to pick up the first down.
As quickly as Whittington gets off the football and moves away, and he can really motivate, you've got to believe that the Oilers are reacting quite well to him. Cleveland has scored again. It is Seattle 16, Cleveland 10, playing in the third period. I'll bet you that old stadium up there is really rocking and rolling right now. They fell behind early, but the Browns are coming back. 16-10. Seattle leads it in the third. Third down, Oakland. Back to throw. In the pocket, delivers over the middle. Ball is tipped. It's intercepted. Reinfeld, 45 at the 30. Still on his feet at the 25. At the 20-yard line and knocked out of bounds at the 19. Reinfeld, interception number 10. Well, he leads the league in interceptions, and he got some help that time as Stabler put a little bit of oomph on the football, and it just bounced off Martini's hand. Britton Martini went high to get it and couldn't hold on to it. And Johnny on the spot is Reinfeld, who almost gets by one man. He's got himself gone, but he is finally knocked out of bounds by big Henry Lawrence, and the ball is at the 19-yard line. Boy, this crowd comes back to life. 5-14, and the Oilers right here with a golden opportunity to pick up something at the Oakland 19-yard line. I set in the backfield, 2 wide receivers. Earl Campbell comes left in front of a block at the 15. He's at the 10, down to the 8, now the 7. First and goal, Houston Oilers. Nice blocking on the left side. Mike Renfro, who was outside of the left, through the paving block, and Earl turns it upfield from the 19. It's going to be a gain of about 10 yards, making it 11 on the play. Started at left tackle, went outside. Rod Martin was the man who was held up just momentarily. Then on the outside, Mike Renfro was making the block on 42, Monty Jackson. And first and goal to Houston Oilers, 8 yards away from breaking the tie. Out of the huddle and up to the line of scrimmage. The veteran center from Southern Illinois, it is Carl Boggs. Fisher to the right, Conway Heyman to the left side of him. Renfro goes in motion. Pastorini inside give. Earl Campbell puts his head down, breaks out of a pile, tries to go back and regroup, and is going to be knocked out at the 7-yard line. Head forward progress to the 5. It bounced off and tried to come to the outside, and they held on. Making the first hit was Best. And then Rod Martin came in to figure him off. The Oilers have lost 2 fumbles. Oakland has lost a fumble and now lost an interception. So as far as turnovers are concerned, we are even. The Oilers are averaging 33 turnovers, or they have had 33 turnovers this season. They're averaging 3 per game. And it made a difference in the Miami game, and it looks like it may make a difference here. From the 7-yard line. Second down and goal to Houston. 1 wide receiver to the right as the crowd comes to their feet to the right of us, standing to watch this situation. Pastorini, quick drop to throw, dumps it in the end zone, has a man there, overthrown. Pass to the intended receiver in the right corner of the end zone. Pass was overthrown. Pastorini pumped once, taking to Burrow. The only 2 men out of the pattern. Burrow and Castor were both there. Burrow is short, Castor is deep in the end zone. First pump was supposed to get everybody's attention, but it did not. So now it is 3rd and 7 for the Oilers. 3rd and goal. And if they don't get 6 points out of going to the well this time, Ron, it could hurt. Report for the bench on Chester, still in the clubhouse with the doctor. No report further on his knee. Pastorini down under center. 1 wide receiver, running play. Tim Wilson goes to the left with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. His first touchdown of the year. Timmy turns and throws it into the end zone crowd. It'll cost him 50, but
He doesn't care at this point. Oilers lead it 20-14. Looking obviously for Earl Campbell. He was used as a decoy. Timmy Wilson got the handoff, took it the final 7, and the Oilers with a 3rd and goal at the 7-yard line, and Timmy takes it in. Tony Fritsch to attempt the extra point at the 9-yard line. If Nielsen holding. Good pass from center. Kick is up and through. Time out on the field with 9:27 to play in the 3rd period. Our new score, the Oilers 21 and the Raiders 14. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
Football Saturday, Angelo State 17, Sam Houston State 16, Arkansas 29, Baylor 20, Austin College 9, Sul Ross 7, Lamar 28, Northwest Louisiana 13, Oklahoma 38, Kansas nothing, Texas 21, Houston 13, Texas Tech 3, TCU 3, Texas A&I 56, Howard Payne 10, Texas Lutheran 7, Eastern New Mexico nothing, Tulsa 38, New Mexico State 16, Boise State 28, Nevada Reno 27, California 45, Washington State 13, Cal Lutheran 40, Azusa Pacific 15, Cal Poly at San Luis Obispo 38, Cal Poly at Pomona 34, Fort Lewis 10, Colorado Mines nothing, Fresno State 28, Fullerton 24, Lewis and Clark 34, Pacific of Oregon 22.
Story of the drive is a simple one, just 19 yards to go. They cover 19 yards in 4 plays after Reinfeld intercepts, and Timmy Wilson goes in from 7 yards out. So they hold the ball for 2 minutes and 1 second, and the Oilers lead it 21-14 over Oakland. Seahawks leading the Cleveland Browns 16-10, playing in the 3rd period. And Cincinnati holds on to a 14-13 lead over San Diego. Let me repeat this thing on Chester, which we were just about to read before the touchdown. He is still in the clubhouse with the doctors, and they have issued no report. We know that he has knee injury that could be serious. Fritz's kick very high and deep. It's going to come down to Matthews at the 3-yard line. 10, 15 at the 20. Good heavens, he is almost beheaded at the 20-yard line. Boy, the special teams playing with sufficientness today. And Guido Merkins downfield who made the initial contact, and then Darrell Hunt, who was the special teams player of the week last week, or last Sunday in the Miami game. It's 18 yards on the return, and the Raiders will scrimmage for the 21-yard line. The snake was intercepted just a moment ago by 37 Mike Reinfeld, his 10th pickoff of the year. Mike tries to tell the story. It's the right place at the right time, but you got to know where to be also to have 10 interceptions at this point of the season. Running play goes to the left side for 3 yards. Greg Bingham from this middle linebacking spot is there to make the hit for the Houston Oilers. It's going to be a second down. Let's call it about 6 to pick up the first. Curly Culp also helped out on the stop. Curly, the last 3 ball games, Ron, has been playing some super defense. Far and away the best that he's played this year.
He has. He is the guy who caused the 2 fumbles that Miami gave up last week, and he has been handling the center today very, very well.
Put the glasses on him this time and see what he does with Dalby. He's in an overshift this time. Moves over between the center and the guard. Draw play, winning his spot in the backfield, regains his footing, and comes out over the 26 to the 27.
That's what he did to Dalby. He's the guy who made the tackle there. He hit him and knocked him down. Brazil and Bingham didn't get on top of it, but he just pushed him out of the way and came in and plugged the hole and made the tackle.
Curly was a NCAA wrestler and was a very good one. And it's just absolutely built like a bear. I don't know how you'd never be able to pin a guy like that. I'm not sure you could ever really get him down effectively.
Well, I never would. I never would want to because I figure he's going to get up.
3rd down and 3 Oakland. Stabler back to throw. Quick out. It is Passer. Complete at the 35 and is shoved out of bounds across the way and thrown down by Vern Terry.
Well, Vernon ought to get a flag thrown at him for that because he shouldn't have done it. He obviously was out of bounds and probably knew it and threw him down anyway. And that's a bad play on Vernon's part, but there was no flag. Get a guy hurt like that because he could have thrown him into the bench. first down, however, for Oakland. Ron San Diego has come from behind to go in front of Cincinnati, 16-14. Cincinnati will be here next week to play the Oilers. Start time is 3 o'clock. We'll be on the air on the Houston Oilers Radio Network at 2:35 Central Time. Hope you'll join us for that ball game. First and 10 Oakland Raiders. They've now converted 7 of 11 on third down situations. Stabler back to throw. Going to go long for Branch. Overthrown way down at the 15-yard line. All off and fired on that one. Nothing wrong with his arm anymore. Kenny Stabler, following his worst season ever, 30 interceptions last year, 13 this year, counting the one he just threw into Reinfeld's hand. The Snake just had elbow tendonitis. Ron, what is elbow tendonitis? Is that like tennis elbow? Is that the same sort of thing? Same thing. Yeah, that's what his problem was last year. And his coach said, or his owner said, a little of it was free spirit that entered into the whole thing. He is certainly not for a man who lives on the redneck Riviera. Second down and 10 from the 38. Stabler back to throw, steps up and delivers. It is Branch at the 42-yard line and very wisely just goes down at that point. Robert Brazell was there along with Greg Bingham to make the hit on him. It's going to be third down Oakland, third down and 4. That's what they call the area, or that's what Stabler calls it, down in South Alabama. Gulf Shores, the redneck Riviera. And it's just posed for, I don't know if that's a national publication or not. Well, certainly you read it, and I read this. I read the comment in the paper, that's all. It's Carol Doda, old friend of Ron. Branch now with 5 catches for 46 yards. Stabler back to throw, third down. Steps up into the pocket, delivers the ball, overthrown and almost intercepted. Dimrick couldn't turn around in time. It's kicking time for the Raiders. Boy, it was Baker and Kennard who came in on him that time to get him on either side and force him to throw in a hurry. And listen to the crowd for the defense. Some of that crowd standing. What an ovation for the defensive unit, and they deserve it. I'll tell you, Ken Kennard and Jesse Baker have taken over the line of scrimmage on pass rush. They're really putting the pressure on number 12, and the Snake knows those two numbers. Jesse got him earlier. Jess has what, 15 and a half sacks? Yes, he does have 15 and 1/2. Ray Guy will try to scrape the ceiling with one once again. Stands back at the 30. Good pass from center. Light pressure by the Oilers. Wobbly spiral. The far side of the field. Gathered in by Eleanor at the 15. Going to be knocked down at the 18-yard line. 4 seconds hang time on that one by Ray Guy. 41 yards of the kick, only 3 on the return. Right now, there's a timeout on the field with 6:55 to play in the third period. Our score, the Oilers 21 and the Raiders 14. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
At Chicago, Jim Jodat, the Los Angeles Rams picked up a fumble recovery and took it 13 yards for a touchdown. That was on a blocked punt. And the extra point was blocked in that game. So in the first quarter, Los Angeles leading Chicago 9-0. Neil O'Donoghue has hit a 32-yard field goal for Tampa Bay. So in the second quarter, Detroit leading Tampa Bay 7-3. Chuck Muncy has scored 2 touchdowns for New Orleans, a 2-yard run and a 12-yard run. And in the first quarter, New Orleans leading San Francisco 17-0. At Kansas City, a 43-yard field goal by Jan Stenerud, and Pittsburgh out in front of Kansas City 20-3. That game is in the third quarter. So that'll give you an idea of what's going on at the moment in the National Football League. Uwe von Schulman has just hit a 32-yard field goal for Miami. So in the third quarter, Miami is leading Baltimore 16-0.
6 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the third period of our ball game. The Oilers up 21-14 over the Oakland Raiders. Earl Campbell needs only 16 yards to become the first player in the history of the American Football Conference to rush for 1,000 yards in his first 2 NFL seasons. So we'll count them down for you. 16 yards is all that Connor Rose needs. Oilers with the first and 10 at their own 18-yard line. They're up by 7 points, 21-14. Campbell the lone setback this time. After any very long count, hollers something to his wide receivers. Pitches the ball back to Earl Campbell. Sweep to the right side. 20 out to the 25 and out to the 27-yard line.
There's some of it. There's just about 10 yards of it there by Earl Campbell, going for 1,000-yard season number 2 in his very young career. Monty Johnson defensively makes the stop. They'll mark the ball out at the 27. 9 yards picked up at the play. He needs but 7. Only 7 yards. And if you hear a cheer in the booth, Stats Board has been given permission to cheer on this. Stats drools a lot when we get close to records, and right now his paper is wet, friend. On the line of scrimmage, handoff. Earl Campbell breaks it out of the 30 out to the 35. He should be within about 1, or that's it. 1 of the 2. Let's see where they're going to mark it. That did it. There it is. 1,000 yards, and listen to the crowd. His total for 2 years, 2,451. He just broke it by 1 yard. The first man in the American Football Conference to go over 1,000 his first 2 years. 2 tight end alignment. Renfro comes in motion. Pastorini play action. Under pressure. The blitz is on. Danny running for his life. He's going to be sacked. Back at the 31-yard line. Oh, the linebackers were coming, and the man who was after him was Rod Martin, who has been back there before. And Martin slammed him down without getting anywhere. Danny tried to run loose. He was looking for Renfro down the sideline. Renfro covered very nicely over there. But Davis, I believe it. He couldn't do anything about it. And in comes Martin to make the tackle. Responding now to the announcement from the public address man, Jim Carolla, announcing that Campbell has just gone over 1,000 yards and the first player to do that 2 years running in the AFC. Orders for the second down at 13. Line of scrimmage to row 32. Houston 21, Oakland 14. Pastorini play action, looking, going to go long. He is going for Renfro. Oh, what a catch down at the 40. On his feet to the 35 and then to the 32. What a catch by Renfro. No way he's going to catch that ball. Mike Davis standing there watching it sail over. Renfro looked like a basketball center. A little bit of Moses Malone going very high. And the way Moses clears the board, he cleared that football out of the air. My goodness, what a catch. Boy, he is magnificent to watch. The TCU Hornfrog and Ron, the man who made the tackle had gone off the field to play and came back on and made the tackle. He was... Mike Renfro has had himself as good a day as he's had this year. 2 tight end alignment, wide receiver to either side. Campbell the lone setback. Houston on first down, pitches back to Earl Campbell, under pressure, breaks off one tackler, not going to get by Lester Hayes at the 36. Ted Hendricks refused to let him go, as he got a hand on him and just sort of held him back. Nowhere for Campbell to go on that one, lost yardage. Campbell lost the shoe. Ted Hendricks got a hold of it and just held on to it and pulled him back. He kept fighting to try to get loose, but could not. 3 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in the third period of play. The Oilers 21, the Raiders 14. San Diego back ahead of Cincinnati, or ahead of Cincinnati for the first time of the ball game, 16-14. Ron? Earl just unbroke his record. Right. He's going to do it again. They're going to give 2 game balls. Pastorini at 2nd and 13. Back in the pocket, looking, delivers, looking for Burrow at the 5. He's got it. Touchdown. What a pass. Very little arc on it. Burrow just split the seam, caught it at the 8-yard line, and waltzed into the end zone. Oilers 27, Raiders 14. I'll tell you, Mr. Franklin, the Oilers have not played football this well since the playoffs of last year. Exactly. They are some kind of hot. To attempt the extra point at the 9-yard line. Out of the hole to Gifford Nielsen. Good pass from center. Ball to John. Picks it up and it's perfect. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play in the third period. And all of a sudden, the Oilers have jumped into a 14-point ball. Time out of the field, our score. Houston 28 and Oakland 14. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
In college football Saturday, Linfield 26, Willamette 8, New Mexico 24, Colorado State 9, Oklahoma State 21, Colorado 20, Oregon 16, Stanford 7, Oregon Tech 52, Western Washington 6, Portland State 44, Idaho State 14, San Jose State 32, Pacific 31, Southern Cal 24, Washington 17, San Jose State 32, Pacific 31, St. Mary's 37, San Diego 7, UCLA 31, Arizona State 28, Utah 35, Texas El Paso nothing, Weber State 12, Idaho 7, Wyoming 17, Arkansas State 14. Two top 10 teams beaten in college football Saturday. 4th-ranked Houston losing to Texas, 10th-ranked Michigan losing to Purdue.
Pastorini threaded the needle to Kenny Burrough, a 35-yard touchdown strike that was right on the money with 2:50 remaining in the third period of play. 6 plays to cover 82 yards. Romney hold the ball for 4 minutes and 5 seconds. Fritz gets the extra point. The Oilers go up 28-14. And Tony Fritz gets ready to kick it off once again, as the Oilers have scored 14 points here in the third period. It's going to come down to Brunson at the 6-yard line. 10, 15 at the 20. He is hit head high by Ted Thompson. Crosses the 20-yard line. Go ahead and wrap up the watch. Oh, Teddy hit him so hard. Thompson, coming full speed, just lowered his head, and they went head on, and Brunson was the loser. Well, those guys know it's Christmas time. They're all going for that special teamer award. Kenny King was downfield and had a shot at him and spun off the tackle, and it was Ted Thompson who got him at the 22. So the Raiders down by 2 touchdowns. To see what the snake comes up with here. Wide receiver to either side, split backfield. Running play. It is Whittington. Crosses the 25. Curly Culp wraps him up at the 26-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of about 4 yards. Second down and 6 coming. Oilers now with 12 first downs, 297 yards, and Ken Burrow has 109 of that. We have him unofficially 3 catches for 109 and 2 touchdowns in the ball game. Pastorini, 8 of 12 for 205 yards. And to think, last Monday night, Houston had a total of 12 yards passing. Running play, sweep to the near side. It is Whittington, caught from behind, spins off that tackler and goes down as he crosses the 30. Left a lot of Oilers in his wake as a linebacker had a shot at him, and Hunt is getting up very slowly. He missed him. Squeaky missed him. JC had a shot at him. Couldn't quite wrap it all up. Third down and very short. Crowd is applauding because the announcement is made that Hall of Famer Ray Nitschke is one of the people in the crowd here. To the line of scrimmage with a third down in one situation. 2 tight in alignment. Wings to the right side. Running play is Booker Russell. Spins off one tackler. Goes down hard at the 33. Has the first down. Russell had some rib injuries earlier in the ball game. Obviously, he is all right. Keep in mind that Raymond Chester has not come back out onto the field, and the Raiders are playing without what has to be their number 1 threat. Coming into the ball game, he had caught the ball 47 times for 569 yards. He was injured, ironically, on a touchdown play that he did not figure in. Ken Stabler back to throw and first down. Pressure is on, delivers his pass. It's caught by Casper at the 40. Out to the 44-yard line, still going at the 47, now the 48. Washington tried to go one-on-one with Casper and couldn't bring him down. Right now, let's pause 15 seconds for a message from your local station. This is the Houston Oilers Radio Network.
This is the American Forces Radio and Television Service.
Astrodome with 6 seconds remaining in the third period. They won't get a playoff before we end the third quarter. 2 seconds, 1. Here's the gun. Time out on the field with our score. The Houston Oilers 28, the Oakland Raiders 14. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
At Cleveland, a 65-yard run by Mike Pruitt in Seattle out in front of Cleveland, 16-10 in the third quarter. At Chicago, Jeff Rutledge has hit Terry Nelson on an 18-yard touchdown pass. Los Angeles leading Chicago 16-0 in the second quarter. Neil O'Donoghue has hit his second field goal of the afternoon. It's now Detroit 7, Tampa Bay 6, his second effort from 39 yards out. At New Orleans, Ray Wersching has booted a 32-yard field goal. It's New Orleans 17, San Francisco 3 in the second quarter. And in the fourth quarter, Buffalo in front of New York 14-6. Joe Ferguson has just hit Curtis Brown on a 30-yard touchdown pass. So Buffalo in front of New York 14-6. That game is in the fourth quarter. Buffalo and the New York Jets. Mike Pruitt has just scored again, and Cleveland is now leading Seattle 17-16. Pruitt hitting over from 1 yard out. That game is in the third quarter.
Cleveland Browns have come from behind and now lead Seattle 17-16, playing in the third quarter up at the Municipal Stadium in Cleveland, the City of Light. San Diego is leading Cincinnati 16-14, playing in the second period, and that's a come from behind lead for them. Kansas City has kicked a field goal. Pittsburgh leading 20-3 over Kansas City. Miami has kicked a field goal. Von Schaumann has hit again, and it's Miami 16, Baltimore nothing. Buffalo has scored again. They lead the New York Jets 14-6. That's the fourth period score. Washington 17-7 over St. Louis in the third period. Detroit has scored again, and they lead Tampa Bay 14-6 in the third period. Los Angeles 16, Chicago nothing is the second period score. And New Orleans is pouring it on San Francisco 17-3 now, playing in the second period. Well, the Rams have come to life, huh? No score in the Minnesota-Green Bay ball game. They're playing just about getting started about now, I would imagine. And the New England-Denver game is a late start. So that gets you up today as far as scores are concerned. Our score, Oakland 28, or Oakland 14 rather, the Oilers 28. And we got 15 minutes to hold on and see what happens. With the Raiders first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Running play, it is Whittington going hard and left tackle over the 50 down to the Houston 48-yard line. So you pick up a 4, second down and 6. Officially, we get the word that Chester will not return because of that knee injury. We didn't suspect that he would. He was injured just before halftime on the touchdown pass caught by Casper. Went down in the end zone, and they carried him on to the locker room at that point. Second down and 6. Line of scrimmage to Houston 48. This is Jensen. Left tackle fumbles the ball. Scramble for it. Oakland has recovered down at the 40. That's enough for the first down is Lawrence. That's big. No, check it. Shell. 78. Art Shell. Rather than Henry Lawrence, number 70, recovered the fumble. Jensen coughed it up at the 45-yard line, and the Raiders pick up 5 more yards. First and 10, Oakland. Oakland's pretty good at that forward fumble. That is a play that they've almost passed it. Ball to the 40-yard line, clock running with 13:58. The Oilers have played an exciting offensive football game today. They lead it 28-14, and it's been fun. Cincinnati here next week. Stabler, play action. Blitz is on. Going to have to hurry. He's going to be sacked. Teddy Washington back at the 47-yard line. That's about time Teddy got it. He's come close all day long. That is 6 sacks for Ted Washington this year. It's going to be a loss of 6. Second down and 16 for the Oakland Raiders. Boy, Jensen was trying to block at Ted Washington, and there was just nothing doing. We'll remind you that Earl Campbell now is 2 yards shy of the 1,000-yard mark. You heard
Ernest made the announcement a while ago that he had the 1,000 yards, but he lost on a play after that. Stabler back to throw, screen to the right side. At the 40, at the 35, at the 30-yard line, at the 20-yard line. First and 10 Oakland Raiders. And the screen, because of the heavy pursuit for the Oilers, has been at least as effective as anything that Coach Boyes has pulled out of his grab bag today, Ron.
The matter looked like Culp was going to get him from behind. Culp was in on good pursuit and almost caught up with Russell. But he turned the corner on him after a very good block, and that sprung him. Vernon Perry is the man who had to knock him down, and it's caused simply because the Oilers over-pursued.
26 yards of the screen pass to Booker Russell. First and 10 Oakland Raiders at the Houston 20-yard line. The Oilers lead it 28-14. Stabler back to throw. Dumps his pass to Branch at the 15-yard line. Breaks the tackle at the 10, and he's down to the 7. Greg Stemrick finally makes the tackle of his first goal, Oakland Raiders.
That Oiler stuck an arm out and tried to get him with one hand. He got around him, and then Stemrick nailed him. Who's the guy? Vernon Perry, who comes in and tries to get him on one hand. Couldn't quite hold on to him. Second man misses him, but Stemrick, sure tackle, knocks him down to the 7-yard line. And Oakland is threatening to come back in this ball game.
The Snake is down by 14, trying to cut it to 7. Art Whittington comes left side. Ted Thompson makes the stop on him at the 5-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 3, second down and goal.
The Raiders must have looked at the scoreboard and saw a while ago that San Diego was losing, which meant they better get themselves on the ball. They've started coming back here now. They'll play Kansas City at home next week. Then they've got the Broncos, the Saints, the Browns, and the Seahawks left. So it's not an easy road for them. They're 6-4, looking for a playoff spot.
Stabler back to throw and second down. Runs up into the pocket now, delivers the ball. It is tipped away. Nice defense. Vernon Perry deep in the end zone. Pass was intended for Dave Casper. Casper complaining to the official that he got pushed in the end zone. No marker on the play. It's going to be third down and goal from 5 yards away.
Andy Doris knocked Stabler down just as he threw the ball. He got in very low on him as Stabler is living dangerously. A couple of Oilers just barely missed him, and Doris crawled up and got him by the knees just as he threw the ball. But Vernon Perry is the man who made the good play there. Stops the clock with 11:13 remaining in the ball game.
Oilers come in with a 4-down lineman. The extra defensive back. Crowd comes to their feet. Stabler back to throw. Blitz is on. Going to have to hurry. He's going to be shot. And he has grounded the ball. We see no flag. Back at the 15-yard line.
Play was called dead. The official was going to rule the play was dead when Stabler knew that he was dead. Give the sack to Teddy Washington once again. So Ted's gotten to him twice now on this drive. That is 7 sacks for Teddy Washington.
Boy, he just threw the ball out of the sack. And Ron, he threw it underhanded. That ball could have been picked up in advance had they not blown the whistle. The Snake could have cost himself 6 quick ones there.
Field goal try coming up now for the Raiders.
This will be from the near hash mark of 32 yards away. Jim Breach out of the hole to David Hahn. Good pass from center. Ball is down. Kick is on its way, and it's good. With 10:47 to play in the ball game, our new score, the Houston Oilers 28 and the Raiders 17. Time out on the field. This is the Houston Oilers Radio Network.
When Texans go to Europe on business, those who know take KLM 747.
In college football Saturday, Alfred 16, Buffalo 3, Boston U 16, Connecticut 12, Boston State 16, Bridgewater State nothing, Catholic U 13, St. Francis 12, California of Pennsylvania 24, Shippensburg nothing, Central Connecticut 35, Northeastern 21, Colgate 20, Bucknell 2, Cornell 24, Columbia 7, Dartmouth 24, Brown 10, Delaware State 21, North Carolina A&T 21, Edinburgh 15, Westminster 14, Fordham 35, Albany 28, Franklin and Marshall 7, Lebanon Valley nothing, Geneva 24, Allegheny 6, Gettysburg 31, Ursinus 10, Grove City 28, Washington and Jefferson nothing, Harvard 41, Penn 26, Hobart 13, RPI 9, Holy Cross 20, Massachusetts 18.
That's a 7-minute and 3-second drive for the Oakland Raiders. 13 plays to go 78 yards. Reach kicks a 32-yard field goal, and Oakland edges a little closer. 28-17, the Oilers lead the Raiders. Here's the kickoff. 2 drives for Oakland in the game, over 7 minutes. Kickoff comes to Ellender at the 5, 10, 15, out to the 20, to the 25, still on his feet, and out to the 30-yard line. Repeating, Earl Campbell has 998 yards on the season. He went over the 1,000-yard mark and then was caught for a loss of about 4 yards on the next play, a -3. So he still needs a couple to come back to 1,000 yards. On the 30-yard line, the Houston 30. 10 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the ball game. Houston 28 at the Raiders 17. Oilers with 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 setback. Campbell right up the middle, goes for 3 yards, now 4. He's out to the 36-yard line. Ron Martin, the middle linebacker, is there to make the hit on him. Going to be a gain of 5.5 yards, and with that, officially, Earl is over the 1,000-yard mark for the 2nd season in a row. First man to the American Football Conference to do that. Pittsburgh has kicked the field goal to lead Kansas City 23-3, playing in the 3rd period. San Diego 16-14 over Cincinnati. That's the 3rd period score. No other changes up on the board. Oh, yeah, Chicago has scored. 16, Los Angeles 7, Chicago. Running play again, Earl Campbell, left side, squeezes his way through a small hole out to the 39-yard line. With the last couple of plays, Houston has gone over the 300-yard mark. That should put them at 308 on the afternoon. 12 first downs, the Raiders 20 first downs, 270 yards. The Raider defense came into the ballgame the 11th defense in the AFC. Number 9 against the rush, number 12 against the pass. They have not helped themselves at all today. But the Oiler offense has helped itself. It was number 13 passing offense, next to the worst in the league. But they've helped out. Double wing set by Houston. Carpenter goes in motion. Earl Campbell sweeps to the left side, turns it upfield, runs over a man, and steps out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Hello there. That was Jackson that he hit. Put his shoulder down. Jack Tatum finally knocked him out of bounds. But Monty Jackson took a shoulder from Earl Campbell and just went flying backwards. The initial block by Rob Carpenter is what sprung him to the outside. Campbell now is unofficially 78 yards and 1 touchdown in the ballgame. 13 touchdowns for the year for Earl Campbell, who doesn't know what a sophomore jinx is. From the 42-yard line with a 1st and 10. Clock 9:13 to play in the ball game. Renfro in motion. Pastorini, quick pitch goes to Earl Campbell. Turns the corner to 45 and will step out of bounds across the way at the 48. Rod Martin was out there to make the hit on him at the 48-yard line and push him out of bounds, but Earl was going to go that way anyway. Little white jerseys all over the place. And Ron, the absence of Ted Hendricks, we just haven't mentioned his name that much today. They have run away from him, but he has not figured that greatly in the defensive scheme for Oakland. Hendricks recovered a fumble a while ago, and that's about the only thing he's done. As you say, they've done a good job of staying away from him. But somebody also has done a good job of keeping him away from the flow of play. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Again, Earl Campbell, the lone setback. Pastorini spins, hands it off to Earl right up the middle, and I believe he has the first down. He crosses the 50-yard line, butts his way to the 48. And from here, it would appear that he has the first down by just the nose of the football. He dug right at John Matusak, and if he didn't, it's simply because Matusak was low enough to stop him from going. They had a pretty good hit right in the middle there. They're going to measure it, I guess. Let's see. Are they? I don't think they're going to have to. They've spotted the ball. Okay. The linesman on the near side, from where he marked the ball, Earl Toller, his foot was down inside the 49-yard line, but they have spotted the ball just outside the 49 now. Earl Campbell has carried the ball 5 straight times. Bill Filippiano
calling the defensive signals for the Oakland Raiders. They break their defensive huddle. Here come the orders to the line of scrimmage. Third down and short. Wing to the left side. That's Carpenter. High set in the backfield. Pastorini, very long count. Would he go to the tight end here, or would he run it? Straight ahead. Earl Campbell hit at the line of scrimmage. He's going to be close. I don't know. I'm not sure he got the first down or not.
Dave Kerr came in and hit him and pushed him back, and I don't think they're going to give him a first down. Now the crowd's going to tell him what to do if he didn't get it. Hear him?
8 minutes and 29 seconds to play in the ball game. Houston 28, the Raiders 17. No movement for the special teams. You'll hear the cheer. Tim Wilson checks in. Orders will go for it. Ron, they gave a loss of a half yard to the play, which is a little hard to figure, but that's the way it is. Crowd comes to their feet. Fourth down. A yard to pick up the first. Double wing set for the orders. The lone setback is Earl Campbell. Carpenter goes in motion. Handoff goes to Earl Campbell. Sweeps to the left. Has the first down. Lowers his head. He's in the Oakland 46. First and 10 Houston orders.
Monty Jackson, once again, is the guy who gets in the way, and once again, Earl punishes them for that. That is 7 straight times they have gone to Campbell. This drive started at the 29-yard line. It's now up to the 46, and the orders of the Oakland end of the field, and it's been Campbell on every play.
You know, Ron, a lot of people complain about playing on the artificial surface, about getting the turf burns. Monty Jackson may be treated today for Earl Campbell tire marks up his back.
Earl sits down to rest for a while.
Two wide receivers come right. Orders eating up the clock here. Carpenter goes left side, straight ahead for a couple, maybe three. They mark the ball. Looks like it's going to be around the 43-yard line as Dave Browning is there. The most important thing is the clock is about to go under 7 minutes. The Orders lead it by 11 points. And talking with Ed Miles before the football game today, he said what they needed more than anything against this Oakland club and against the Kenny Stabler was ball possession by the offense, so that his defensive unit would not have to spend so much time on the field. And that's been the case, particularly here in the second half. Drive started back at the 30-yard line. Pastorini using up every second of that clock that he can. 30-second clock is down to 7 now as the pitchback goes to Carpenter, turns it upfield inside the 40, in the vicinity of the 37-yard line. He's going to be close to the first down. Carpenter just kept fighting. He refused to quit and almost got the first down. Washington 27-7, leading their ball game over St. Louis. Washington 27, St. Louis 7. Detroit 14-6 over Tampa Bay, Los Angeles 16-7 over Chicago. No change in the Seattle-Cleveland score. Cleveland leading that by a point. San Diego leading over Cincinnati by 2 points. Pittsburgh 23, Kansas City 3. Houston to the line of scrimmage. Clock runs now with 5 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the ball game. Orders 28-17. They lead it. Pastorini hands it off. Earl Campbell squeezes to the near side at the 35-yard line. Going to be tripped up as he trips over his own blocker. Has the first down at the 31-yard line. Lester Hayes on the tackle. And Ron, if he had cut just a little bit sooner, it appears the convoy might have had him 6 points.
That's 96 yards for Earl Campbell in the ball game so far as he looks toward another 100-yard game. Had 120 yards against Miami, 149 against Baltimore, 158 Cincinnati, 131 Kansas City, 166 Washington. So he's looking for another 100-yard game.
Seattle 22-17 over Cleveland in the fourth. Nice block on that last play by Carl Bach. And looking at the replay, Villappiano had actually filled the hole. Here's a reverse. Ken Burrow, he wants to throw the ball, looking, and now delivers the pass that just overthrows everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry, but that's funny.
Well, you can look at your front yard and watch your kids do the same thing. All right, Kenny. Handoff went to Earl Campbell. He handed it back to Ken Burrow on the reverse, and it was a reverse pass. Burrow just threw it away. Renfro was trying to cut open as everybody was ad-libbing.
Well, that woke woke up the crowd if anybody dared go to sleep. Kenny's a very serious guy. He will tell you he did not throw it away. His aim was obscured. The Renfro didn't get there. That's it.
4:41 to play. Oilers up by 11.
Ran the wrong pattern.
Second down at 10 for the 31. Earl Campbell tries to sweep to the left. Martin has him. He's going to sling him down as he gets some help from the secondary coming up back at the 34-yard line. Going to be a loss of a couple.
The Oilers have accomplished what they set out to do. They're eating up that clock. How much time when did they take over the drive, Dave? 10:47, and they are now at 4:15. So they have done a magnificent job of eating up the clock. Even the pass play of Burroughs that stopped the clock took so long to develop, it could as well have been a running play. Difficult decision as to who you give the player of the game to. Pastorini has had a magnificent game. Culp has had a magnificent game. Burroughs had a magnificent game, except for that pass. We won't count that.
Third down at 13. Pastorini, quick out pass. Ronnie Coleman, incomplete. Just overthrown. Right now on pause 15 seconds for a message from your local station. This is the Houston Oilers Radio Network. KTRH. Pitch is on its way. It's long enough. It's gone. Herr Fritz, 16 of 18 of the season, and the Oilers go in front, 31-17. There's a timeout on the field with 3 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the ball game, and our new score: Houston 31 and Oakland 17. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
In college football Saturday, Ithaca 35, Brockport State 7, Kutztown 31, Mansfield 7, Lafayette 21, Wagner 3, Lehigh 12, Maine 6, Rock Haven 42, Slippery Rock 26, Muhlenberg 14, Moravian 6, Norwich 34, Middlebury 20, Pittsburgh 24, West Virginia 17, Plymouth State 35, Curry 24, Rhode Island 24, Kings Point 24, Rutgers 20, Army nothing, St. Lawrence 35, Rochester 28, Seton Hall 35, Coast Guard 20, Southern Connecticut 21, Cortland State 7, Springfield 34, New Hampshire 14, Susquehanna 8, Wilkes 7, Syracuse 30, Navy 14, Temple 42, Akron 6.
The Oilers take 7 minutes and 4 seconds to put 3 points up on the board. Just a few minutes earlier, Oakland had taken 7 minutes and 3 seconds to put the 3 points up on the board. So the lead is 14 points. The time, 3 minutes and 43 seconds remaining. And the Oilers look like they have won their 8th ball game of the year and taken a very, very giant stride. Very, very giant stride. You see what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? A very, very giant stride for playoff maybe. I'm beginning to sound like a weatherman. Cleveland 17, Seattle 16, third period score. We'll watch that one. It is imperative that those guys up in Cleveland lose a ball game somewhere along the way because the Oilers and Cleveland are tied. Well, you know, it's conceivable you could have 3 from the Central Division to make playoffs. Christensen, along with Whittington, back in a dual safety. It's a new combination for the Raiders. We haven't seen this one today. It's going to come down to Art Whittington at the 1-yard line. 10 at the 15, and it's going to be hit and tackled by Richard Allender at the 20-yard line. Allender comes up with a football, but I don't think they're going to allow that. Matter of fact, they did not. Final score, Buffalo 14, the New York Jets 12. So that's a little bit of a surprise. As Buffalo, that had won 4 and lost 6 this year, has beaten New York. New York goes 5 and 6, and Buffalo goes 5 and 6. Baltimore is losing their ball game to Miami, 19-0 in the 4th period. And New England late start against Denver. Ball's on the 20-yard line for the Oakland Raiders.
It's the clock they'll be battling now. Ken Stabler back to throw. Quick out pass. Has Casper up at the 30. At the 35-yard line. It finally goes down at the 37-yard line. It's going to be good for close to 18 yards in the play. Both teams still have all their timeouts remaining. Casper now has 5 catches. We'll get a total for you in just a second. Repeating that Raymond Chester injured his knee just before halftime and has not returned to the second half of play. Stabler back to throw. Pressure is on. Middle screen. Comes to Jensen. Going to be hit by Greg Bingham and knocked down at the 37. That's the line of scrimmage. Nice defensive play by the veteran from Purdue. Well, we also should point out that Oakland has not been able to use Mark Van Egan in this ball game at all. Van Egan was their leading rusher. He had some leg problems. So until he gets well and until Chester gets well, they continue to have an offensive problem. Stabler has thrown 31 times in the ball game. Here comes number 32. Sets in the pocket, delivers across the way, and it's complete at the 49-yard line. Good hit by the Houston Oilers. In fact, a couple of the Oilers are down, Greg Bingham, but Derek Ramsey came up with the football. Greg is still down on his knees. And now he's getting up. Vernon Perry is getting up. He's hobbling a little bit, and J.C. Wilson comes away looking at his hand. They sandwiched on him from all sides, but Derek Ramsey caught the ball, and Stabler called timeout. And with that, the 2-minute warning, the timeout on the field with 2 minutes left to play in our score. The Oilers 31 and the Raiders 17. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
Quite a comeback by the Cleveland Browns to defeat the Seattle Seahawks 17-16. Seattle was leading 16-3 at halftime, but Cleveland came back to score 2 touchdowns while holding Seattle scoreless. So the final score of that game at Municipal Stadium, Cleveland, the Cleveland Browns 17 and the Seattle Seahawks 16. Cleveland now is 8 wins and 3 losses and is right now a half a game behind Pittsburgh in the Central Division. The Pittsburgh Steelers playing at Kansas City and have that game well in hand. It was 20-0 Pittsburgh at halftime. Meanwhile, the Seattle Seahawks dropped to 4 wins and 7 losses, currently tied with Kansas City for last place going into action on Sunday. Looks like they'll both be there because Kansas City, as we just mentioned, is losing to Pittsburgh. It was 20-0 at halftime in that game at Kansas City. So the first final score of the afternoon, the Cleveland Browns 17, the Seattle Seahawks 16.
2 minutes remaining in our football game. The Oilers 31, the Raiders 17. It's been a nice Sunday afternoon as far as the Houston Oilers are concerned. Stabler is bringing him downfield and trying to get some of it back. Start of the drive at the 20-yard line. He's brought him to the 49 now on 3 straight passes. So Ken Stabler tries to work that Oakland magic. Here he goes again. Stabler sets in the pocket, delivers his pass, is intercepted. Oh, Robert Brazil dropped it at the 40-yard line. He had it and dropped it. Robert jumped in the air. Vernon Perry was right there, and he jumped for him. Oh, Robert's going to talk to himself about that one for a while. Run, he might have had 6 points. Oh, yeah. Boy, that was a corner down the near side. It was just open. And the way June can run. And that's what he's getting on himself about now. Yeah, Simrick and Wilson won't let him forget that either. Robert is reaching down to his sock now, putting some more stickum on his hand. Then it's 55 left to go in the ball game. Stabler back to throw, sets in the pocket again, delivers right over the middle. The ball is dropped. Vernon Perry comes up and makes the hit, and a marker has now been thrown on Perry. It'll cost the Oilers 15 yards in unsportsmanlike conduct. Russell dropped the ball, and Vernon Perry hit him from behind. It's almost as if he didn't know that he didn't catch the football. I don't know. Anyway, 15-yard penalty against Stewart. Takes him down to the 36-yard line. Then it is 50 seconds. The ball is the 36-yard line. Penalty is stepped off down to the 36-yard line. First and 10, Oakland Raiders. Houston up by 14 points, 31-17. Stabler sets in the pocket. looking for Casper. The ball knocked away, almost intercepted by Mike Reinfeld. Well, a little bit of offensive interference from Dave Casper to keep it from happening, too, as Casper reached up and pulled him back. If you look at the replay on your television as you listen to the radio, Casper is breaking free. Reinfeld stepped in front of him, and he grabbed an arm to pull it away. 31, Oilers, 17, Raiders, minute 44 remaining. We'll be on the air at 2:55 Central Time next week as the Oilers take on Cincinnati. Cincinnati trailing San Diego 16-14 now. Stabler wants this roll again. Has time. Near side of the field for Cliff Branch. It's intercepted by Mike Reinfeld at the 20-yard line, and it's pushed out of bounds. That's number 11 of the year. Right now, there's a timeout of the field for our score. The Houston Oilers 31, the Oakland Raiders 17. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
In college football Saturday, Tufts 35, Bates 7. VMI 13, Marshall 3, Waynesburg 41, Duquesne 7, Wesleyan 17, Trinity 7, Widener 35, Swarthmore 17, Yale 35, Princeton 10, Alabama 3, LSU nothing, Alabama A&M 19, Tuskegee 8, Alcorn State 19, Prairie View nothing, Auburn 14, Mississippi State 3, Austin P 21, Tennessee Tech 14, Bethany 21, Kenyon nothing, Clemson 19, North Carolina 10, Concord 48, Bluefield nothing, Eastern Kentucky 27, Jackson State 21, East Carolina 52, Richmond 10, Fairmont 6, Western Liberty 6, Fisk 21, Fort Valley 8.
Remaining, Mike Reinfeld, who leads the National Football League in interceptions, has added 2 more to his total on this day's work. He has 11 for the year, and he has just preserved this win for the Oilers. Houston 31, Oakland 17, fourth period. Seattle has scored again on Cleveland. It is Seattle 29, Cleveland 17 playing in the fourth period. And if that holds up, it'll be Pittsburgh 9-2, Houston 8-3, Cleveland 7-4, and Cincinnati losing. They'll be 2-9. And Cincinnati comes in here next week. And I am a perpetual worrier, admittedly, but I will continue to worry about Cincinnati once again because they are something else. They can be tough. Now the Oilers will kill a minute and 36 seconds if they can. Raiders have all 3 timeouts left. We'll see if they'll call one immediately here to stop the clock or if they'll wait until third down. Earl Campbell gets the handoff hit in the backfield by Charles Filioff and is knocked down immediately. And with that, Oakland calls his timeout. We'll take it with him. Our score, Houston 31, the Raiders 17. Houston Oilers football continues after this word from your local station.
Well, I'm glad he caught that for you because they have corrected that Seattle-Cleveland game. That was not a final. We told you earlier that Cleveland had won at 17-16. If you're a Cleveland fan, bad news for you. That game is not over yet. If you're a Seattle fan, of course, it is good news because Seattle has scored and it's 29-17 in favor of Seattle. But that game is very late. I don't know how they transmitted a final score in that game, but nonetheless, that is not a final. Seattle and Cleveland still going at it, but Seattle is leading that game at Municipal Stadium in Cleveland. This football game almost wrapped up for the Houston Oilers, who are in a battle of their own. Houston right now battling with Pittsburgh and Cleveland in the Central Division of the American Football Conference. Pittsburgh at 8-2, Cleveland at 7-3, and Houston is 7-3 going in. 8 of the 14 American Conference teams are above 500 going into action. In the National Conference, only 5 of the 14 teams are above 500 going into play on this Sunday.
On the sidelines, the Oiler mascot has a rope that he normally uses to hold on to, has him hold on to the rope. But he is waving it around on the ground like it's a snake. And then with that huge wrench that he carries, he is feeding the snake into submission. And the crowd loves it. Now let's see, the snake today, 21 of 35 for 211. This is the amazing thing. Pastorini 8 of 14 for 205, so 6 yards separating them. 8 of 13, that's right. Burrow threw one of the passes, right. So 8 of 13 for 205. Second down to 13 orders. I set in the backfield. 2 tight end alignments, 1 wide receiver. Burrow goes to the right. Earl Campbell straight up the middle, breaks it out of the 25. He's out to the 26-yard line. Going to bring up a third down situation as Bonnie Jackson came up with the secondary, and the Oakland Raiders will call a timeout. So timeout of the field with our score, the Oilers 31 and the Raiders 17. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
In college football Saturday, Florida State 27, South Carolina 7. Furman 23, Western Carolina 14, Georgia 33, Florida 10, Georgia Tech 21, Air Force nothing. Grambling 22, South Carolina State 15, Howard 31, North Carolina Central 20, James Madison 16, Moorhead State 3, Kentucky 29, Vanderbilt 10, Knoxville 12, Lane nothing, Lenoir Rhine 10, Elon 7, Liberty Baptist 17, Canisius 10, Livingston 10, Delta State nothing, Maryville 14, Center 6, McNeese State 41, Louisiana Tech 7, Memphis State 10, Louisville 6, Mississippi Valley 17, Alabama State nothing, Morgan State 17, Virginia State 7, Morris Brown 24, Bethune-Cookman 21.
Minute and 19 seconds remaining in our ball game, and a lot of the crowd has left the Astrodome. A bunch of folks have gone, but those who are here are favoring this victory over the Oakland Raiders. This rivalry goes back. Yeah, this rivalry goes back over a number of years. Third down and 7 for Houston. Line of scrimmage is the 26. Pastorini again with an eye set in the backfield. Everybody comes up tight for the Raiders. They know that Houston will not put the ball up. Earl Campbell sweeps the left side, breaks it out over the 30 to the 35. First and 10, Houston Oilers. And he's over 100 yards in the ball game run. 6th time this year that he has gone over 100 yards. And you got to consider that he carried only 11 times against the Jets and only 3 times against Seattle. But he's had a very busy day. 31 times he carried the ball. 31 carries for 105 is the total that we have on Earl Campbell. The clock runs at 40 seconds. Now 39. Houston 31, the Oakland Raiders 17. Pastorini watching that 30-second clock. Pitch back goes to Campbell. Turns it upfield at the 35. Going to be knocked down at the 37-yard line. Stays inbound, and that should do it. They will not have to run another play. For the stations down the way, I know we have one more commercial break to run. We will do that at the conclusion of the ball game. Come back for the billboard and then close it out. Might as well do it right now, my friend. 9 seconds. 8, 7, 6, and this crowd on their feet and cheering the Houston Oilers as they have defeated the Oakland Raiders. Right now, timeout on the field with our score. The Oilers 31, the Raiders 17. Houston Oilers football continues in a moment.
Houston with a big victory over the Oakland Raiders, 31-17. So Oakland drops to 6 wins and 5 losses in the Western Division. Houston is now 8-3. Pittsburgh has won its football game. Pittsburgh over Kansas City by the score of 30-3. So Pittsburgh remaining atop the Central Division. Boy, that's a tough division. Pittsburgh at 9-2. Houston at 8-3. Cleveland looks like it's going to wind up at 7-4 because Cleveland is losing in its football game right now against the Seattle Seahawks late in the 4th quarter. It's Seattle 29, Cleveland 17. But we'll hold on to that one until we do get a confirmed final score on that contest. Other final scores: Buffalo 14, the New York Jets 12, and Miami has defeated the Baltimore Colts by the score of 19-0. Okay, let's get back momentarily now to the Houston Astrodome for the wrap-up. I'll tell you what, rather than do that, let us just wrap up the scoreboard for you in the National Football League. Again, to repeat the final scores, Miami 19, Baltimore nothing. That means that the Miami Dolphins are 7 wins and 4 losses, and at the moment just a half a game behind the New England Patriots, who will be playing a little bit later on this afternoon. With the loss, Baltimore drops to 4 wins and 7 losses in the American Football Conference East Division. The other finals again to update: Buffalo 14, the Jets 12, Pittsburgh 30, Kansas City 3. At Washington, the Redskins are leading St. Louis 27-7. That game is late in the fourth quarter. Cincinnati leading San Diego 21-16 in the fourth quarter.